What's up, good people? We are back. Welcome to the show. We are back in the building. I just recently sent a link to LilBigNate. We will be joined by him. As you can see in the title, we're going to be getting into it. I see people just came right on in. Make sure you hit that like button as you make your way in the building. Make sure you hit that like button as you're catching it on the restream or as you're catching it live in effect right now. Make sure you hit that like button. We're about to get this thing started. You know how we do. Roll the intro. Let's go.
Peace, folks. This is X from TPOT Media. Open your mind and wake your black ass up. You know what time it is. Hit that damn like button as you make your way in the door. Grab a seat, settle in, get ready. It's the Grown Man Hour with your host, my man, Bernard Riley.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Mumia Obsidian Ali. You know who I am. I need no introduction, right? And you're listening to the Grown Man Hour with my man Bernard Riley, heard weekdays right here on YouTube. What do you think about that? How about that? Now let's get back on with the show. Thank you.
All right, we are back in the building. I'd like to formally once again thank everybody who made it on in here. 46 people in the building, just getting started. Hit the like button on the way in. Want to make sure that I hit my own damn like button because I have a tendency to forget sometimes. But me and LilBigNate will be getting it in today. Just a little teaser. Well, I'm not even going to tease you on what's next to come. Not even going to tease you on what's next to come. But Stoic One in the building. Shout out to Early Bird Squad. Those that make it in bright and early. Appreciate everybody that comes on in bright and early. Stoic One in the building. Salute to you. Soul Provider in the building. He says, easy use clout beef to rise your numbers. Promote women channels. The content doesn't matter. It's just the clout. That's what Soul Provider Speaks thinks is wrong with the Manosphere. Says, easy use clout and beef to rise your numbers. I don't like that. Because it's easier to just partnership with somebody. It's easier to just say, hey, I disagree with you on this point, that point, this point. I would like to come on and we can have a discussion about it. It's easier to do that than to just blaze up a stream saying, man, this bitch ass motherfucker it's better to do that. Because whatever little audience you got, they're going to show up and mix with that audience And the person that you're arguing with will take some of your smaller audience and you'll take some of his bigger audience. And I had hair on my, I got some, that must came from my beard. Didn't come from eating pussy. I don't eat pussy in the morning. But I had some hair on my tongue. I think that comes from grooming my beard, my mane. Martin Kimano says this is going to be interesting. The Mac the Trucker in the building says LilBigNate is going to come with the fire and brimstone. What's good, everyone? Absolutely. You know he always do. Omega Dreads Gaming Channel, Soul Provider. He says Soul Provider, absolutely. So he's in agreement with Soul Provider. Kill Deuce is in the building. Thank you for that Cash App, Kill Deuce. And he said it's for having LilBigNate on. So LilBigNate just dropped into the back chat. LilBigNate got a lot of fans, a lot of support in this space. So definitely appreciate you sending me the Cash App for having LilBigNate on. I hope to have him on a lot more often. Who else we got in here? Omega Dread spamming us. Who else we got in here? Charles Merchant says one side believes the Manosphere blocks women and the alphabet crew from leading. The other side wants to keep those women from entering. That is an interesting concept. That's one thing that we are going to talk about. The role of, I believe we're going to talk about the role of women in this space. That was kind of in the notes. So we're gonna touch on the women, pun intended. We're gonna touch on the ladies. We will be touching on that. But shout out to everybody. Bowdy Thug in the building. Melody. Shout out to Melody in the building. I skipped a lot of people. Death Racer 25. Shout out to you. We almost got 100 in here. SKC in the building. Captain Coon himself is in the building. But all right, we closing in on 100. That's close enough. So it's time to get this thing started. So without further ado, Sleepy 8006 says this should be interesting. Thank you for that super chat. Thank you for all the support. Everybody who supports the show. Shout out to Sleepy 8006. Appreciate you. And without further ado, I wanted to wait till we got right at 100, but it's close enough. I see 98 on my screen. I don't know what y'all see. That's close enough. But we got LilBigNate. Welcome back to the show, LilBigNate. Glad to have you. What's going on?
Man, I appreciate you letting me come on your platform and speak, man. It's good to see you again. Good to be here again, man.
Absolutely. One little small backstory, because people talk about men not promoting men in this space. I remember this was back in July of might not even been July of last year. No, it wasn't even July. It may have been earlier into the year, maybe March. Maybe it might be a whole year from now, maybe April. I don't know, May, who knows? Somewhere in that time, LilBigNate I saw his name in the back chat, and I was like, "What the hell is LilBigNate? Who is this? This weird? This sound like almost not quite a troll name, but when I see a name, when I never heard of somebody, and I see a name like LilBigNate, I'm thinking it's a potential chance they're gonna come up and say some nonsense, because so that's what I was thinking. So I was like, all right, I'm just gonna give this guy a chance. I just let him in. He spoke for 1 minute, and I instantly knew, okay, I definitely got to do some one-on-ones with this brother. So if I hear somebody, if you're black and you're a man and you got something to say, I got open doors on my platform for you. So that's my simple rule when it comes to brothers in this space. And LilBigNate is finally about to launch his channel. Not today, but I think next week, if I understand it right. Next week,
sir.
He's going to be launching his channel.
I'll be on here next week to launch it.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm all for supporting brothers in this space that got something to say. So without further ado, man, LilBigNate, once again, welcome to the show. Black Wolf Inc. in the building. Okay, super chat's coming in fast, quick, and in a hurry. Says, what's wrong with the Manosphere? Is it that it's not treated equally among the men, but it's far more positive than negative? I agree with that part right there, at least in my opinion. He said it's far more positive than negative. I do agree with that. SKC says, do your thing, Nate. Do your thing. But all right, Nate, you you suggested this topic, and I was kind of taken aback by it because I kind of like to stay away from topics like this because
Okay.
Obsidian has came to me. Me and Obsidian has done topics similar to this, and there's been times when he's came to me with topics like this and I declined because I kind of know where he's going to go with Obsidian. He's going to end up taking shots at everybody, and sometimes these discussions can indirectly, even if the person had good intentions, because sometimes Obsidian has had good intentions with doing a show like this, it can indirectly cause more beef. You know, when you try to do a show like this. But I'm gonna pass it to you. Say, what was the genesis of you even wanting to do a show with this topic? What's wrong with the Manosphere? And you laid out a number of things that you wanted to touch on, but just what was the origin story of you wanting to even do this topic?
My ultimate goal is to get to a point where we could actually have our own 21 type convention. And what I want to discuss are the impediments to getting to that. Now, hopefully, if we can resolve some of these issues and begin to take the steps necessary to where Black men can connect in their respective states, connect in their neighboring states to men that are in these audiences, I think ultimately in the next 3 to 5 years, we could get to our very own 21 convention. I want to get to the point where we can actually meet and begin the process of discussing these issues, approaching Capitol Hill with things that we want. The men in this space represent the productive class of Black people, the class of Black people that the only Black people I'm primarily concerned with, to be honest. And I would love for us to be able to get to that point. I want to put my ideas out there. I don't attack people from other people's platforms. I'll be doing that from my platform. But, let me say this: I won't be attacking anyone that hasn't attacked me. And there's only a couple of people that have decided to do that, and I'll be addressing them on my platform. I'm not going to come into another man's house and track shit on the rug. I'm just not going to do that. I've never done that with anybody's platform. If we're being honest, I've never disrespected anyone in this space, not in the chat, nowhere, because I'm trying to set a precedent that, you know, we can disagree without being disagreeable. You can listen to another man's perspective without hating him if your views don't coincide, you know. So I want this space is like an infant in its crib. You have to take care of it. There's all sorts of potential in this child to become magnificent. And I see that. And I want us to get to the point where all of us see that and all of us can make small adjustments in our behavior and how we do things. And it'll only help us get towards that eventual goal of having this space be the place that speaks for Black America. The part of Black America that actually wants something in this world, you know.
Man, that was good. And that's really how I view this space. And then, yeah, sometimes it do get on some BS. But as far as the good in this space, somebody called it, I think that was Raw Truth. Well, he goes by the not Raw. He goes by the name Mr. 1950 right now. He said the Black Manosphere is the black is the church of Black patriarchy. It's like we're the only place that's talking about it. Every
this
other go ahead.
No, this is it.
Yeah.
I don't know of any. I've never seen an article in Black Enterprise and Essence and Ebony and Jet reflecting the views of the men in this space. Nothing even close. I've never seen anyone that is a content creator in this space appear on a panel on MSNBC or CNN. Nowhere close.
Right.
This is, and you know, we're going to talk about women in the space and how I view women and their relationship to the Manosphere and things of that nature. But I wouldn't be surprised if 30% of most of our audiences are women. I don't know your analytics. I think I've heard Kevin Samuel speak to the fact he has about 30% or so women.
Yeah.
You know,
No, it varies from content creator. Mine is majority male. Mine is definitely
vast majority male. Okay.
Yeah, vast majority, over 90%. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Wow, 90%. Okay,
Yeah,
understood.
mine is pretty high on that. So I mean,
But
yeah,
it's going to change. I can assure you.
I can see it changing depending on what type of content I do. I can see the fluctuations in certain videos with certain topics. So, but I like right now. I mean, I like that it's mostly men. I do, even though I'm not against women being here, but I like having a discussion with men. I mean, that's is what it is. But women play a role. But we'll get into that. But I don't mind it being exactly where it is right now. I'm kind of taking it organically, with the market. If the market is telling me this is my audience, and that's cool and that's fine. Came, here, wanted to get involved in this whole Black Manosphere algorithm and join the conversation. So that's a good thing if men are showing up to hear what you got to say or listen to the commentary of me or my guest and all of that. So I'm loving it. I'm loving it. But
honestly, Bernard, I think it's an even better thing if women are showing up to listen.
No, I do. I think it's a good thing. It's definitely
there is no one that is going to advise these women properly except us. Nobody. There
true.
is nobody. You cannot name one person, one institution in this country that is advising women in general and especially Black women properly. What of these institutions out here have a vested interest in Black women being physically fit, feminine, cooperative, convivial, and submissive? All these other institutions, all these other people, all these other organizations and platforms, they benefit off your dysfunction. They benefit tremendously. As long as you're listening to them to guide your steps, you're not listening to us. And we are the only ones with a genuine vested interest in these women being proper and appropriate. Nobody else has that. Why would Oprah Winfrey or Chuck Schumer or Nancy Pelosi or Maxine Waters care about you being a physically fit, feminine, cooperative woman who's desired by men? They have absolutely, the more likely you are to come up under the leadership of a proper Black man, the less likely you are to be listening to them. So women being in this space as audience members is a good thing, unless they're here to foment discord and things of that nature.
There you go.
But yeah. And some are. There's no doubt about it. Some come here to hate listen, which I don't really understand, but they come here to hate listen and let them hate listen. For women whose minds have been molded by leftist and feminist ideology, there's a lot for them to hate. But the women who have yet to completely ruin themselves, the women who still have a chance to find a man and build a functioning household and have the future that you're supposed to have, I don't know any other place where they're going to get the information they need to become that kind of woman. I just don't.
Melody in the building with the super chat. She says, I support and respect the Manosphere. Thank you for your support, Melody. Appreciate you. We got DeMac. That's not DeMac the trucker, but that's DeMac with not DeMac, not the trucker. All right. The problem, in my opinion, is what we don't support: the brothers sticking their neck out so Black men have a voice. Right on. Appreciate your support. He's saying that we don't support the brothers sticking their neck out so Black men can have a voice. Sometimes that's the case, sometimes it's not. There's a lot, like my channel gets a lot of support. People make a big fuss about Black men not supporting Black men. I can't say that with my channel. My channel gets a lot of support, and I appreciate each and every one of you. Dark Knight Mentality says, salute Bernard, my man LilBigNate. Good to see you back here, brother. Now, where the hell is that channel? We talked about that. It's coming.
Next week, sir. Next week. It all starts.
PBS, Chris Doc P. I think I said that right. Thank you for the super chat. Appreciate that. I believe It was one more, no, two more. Red Sings and Blues in the buildings. He said, start beef, call out creators, sell products that probably are desperate to be in relationships or get laid. Bulldog left. Can't say I blame him. Wow. See, now some people are referencing parts of, I guess, the Manosphere that I don't really associate myself with that much. There's always going to be some spillover, but when they say call out creators, sell products, and he says that are probably desperate to be in relationships or get laid. See, it sounds like he's talking about the incel side of the aisle, and that dips more into the white manosphere when he say desperate to be in relationships. I don't know. I maybe clarify in the chat exactly who you're talking about, because when I get in these conversations, unless I'm doing a very specific incel topic, I'm not really talking to guys that I feel are desperate to be in relationships. A lot of them are happily single and mingling, or they're in a relationship, if not married. So I don't exactly understand or know exactly where he's going with that or what he's talking about. But this topic, what's wrong with the manosphere? Do you understand what aspect, what sector of the space that he's talking about there with that one? You want to?
I'll be honest with you, I don't. I'm a novice when it comes to knowing the chronological history or the sectors of the manosphere. I know the people that I listen to, you know.
Yeah.
But I would be hard pressed to name 20 content creators, to be honest with you. I'm learning all the time. I kind of find people I like to listen to, and I usually spend most of my time there.
Right on, right on. Falcon Black in the building with a super chat. Appreciate that super chat. But you mentioned in the notes that you talked about beef. All right.
Mm-hmm.
You talked about brothers beefing. Topic title was wrong with the manosphere, and beefing was something that you put up there. Now go ahead and speak on that.
Sure.
To the degree that it's a problem that as you see it.
Well, to the degree that it's a problem is that Black men are primarily raised by their mothers, and we often take the characteristics of our mothers on. Jealousy is a feminine trait. Enmity, envy, being manipulative. All these are feminine traits, and there's beefs in other sectors of YouTube. I follow a guy called Undead Chronic. I guess you would consider him part of the white manosphere.
Yeah, I heard of him.
Yeah, Undead Chronic. His channel's been banned at least 15 times. He's had to redo his channel. And he's got beefs with leftists and soy boys and things of that nature. I mean, we're men. There's going to be disputes. We're going to crack skulls at times. I think the problem with beef is when the audience doesn't leave it in the hands of the two men that have the problem. Clicking up, taking sides, sabotaging other people's platforms, flagging campaigns. Man, this is not the behavior of men. I have a problem with a gentleman in this space. I'll be addressing him on my platform, and the issue should be kept between me and him. I'm going to tell the people in my audience, do not say anything to him. Don't take any of the things I'm about to say about him and use them against him. This is between me and him. He decided to come on a platform, not just yours. He also jumped on Game Changers, spit in my face, and I'll be dealing with him. I'm a patient man. And I know that it's not in my best interest to be yelling and screaming and fighting with people when it happens on the platform. I'll just walk away. I'll walk away, which is what happened. I walked away and went on about my business. And knowing that I'm not going to let you get away with it, I'm going to deal with you. I'm going to punish you for what you did. And then that should be it, unless he wants to drag it out, But we're going to have beef. It's part of being a man. It's, after school fights on the playground. It's just part of growing up and and living as a man, but the conflict spilling over into the respective camps and things of that nature, that has to stop. I remember it was on your platform that it happened. Ramil and Angry Man got into it.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember going and watching Ramil's response to Angry Man, and I'm seeing guys in the chat attack Angry Man. Then I go listen to Angry Man's response to Ramil, and I see a couple of the same guys attacking Ramil. I'm like, what the hell is this? This is ridiculous.
There's been only a few things that I've blocked people for.
Gotcha.
That something similar to what you explained is part of what I like. Put it like this: there's one guy, he used to come in my comment section after every video, just praising me, just saying all kind of nice, wonderful things about me. And then I would go look at the comment section to somebody else's video, and he completely trashing me. And I'm like, wow. You bipolar, schizophrenic, just you blocked. It's like I had to get rid of him, because it's crazy how you see that, how they will go in one chat room and give the rallying cry for something else, then go somewhere else and give a completely different rallying cry. It's like, what the hell? What? Some of these dudes are bipolar, man.
The level of contradiction of some brothers, man. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. Brothers, believe what you will. As a conservative, I absolutely respect and appreciate the First Amendment. And if you consider yourself someone who's a patriot or who respects the First Amendment, it's the speech that you disagree with that you have to be open to protecting.
Mm-hmm.
So when I hear brothers railing against conservatives or Republicans, you've never seen me in the chat attacking them. You have every right to your political opinion, but so do I. So do I. And if what I say triggers you, I'm not telling you to leave Bernard Riley's platform, but you'd be well advised not to subscribe to mine. Okay? Get out of your fucking feelings. All right? We are men. You have the right to voice your opinion. I have the right to voice mine. Now, I might voice mine in a way that triggers people, things of that nature. Well, I'm sorry. I have the right to speak my opinion. I have the right to give you my perspective on things. I'm going to build my channel around that, and you can either come and be part of the conversation or stay the fuck away from it. It's up to you, but get out of your feelings. The emotionalism is disgusting. I heard this same dude I got a beef with go on another, I think he was talking to DJ Kuda. A brother took the clip and made his own content about it. The nigga's attacking Angry Man. And he's attacking him for being a conservative. Angry Man's nowhere around on this panel. And Angry Man doesn't need me to defend him. He can defend himself.
Right.
But this is the type of emotionalism and mental and emotional instability that brings about so many of the problems we deal in this sphere. We have some very bad actors in this space, and I'll be addressing them on the LilBigNate show. But the man's nowhere around. He's castigating him, attacking him, talking all sorts of shit about him. Yeah, show me where the street conservatives are in Nebraska. I'm like, nigga, what's wrong with you? I'm listening to this shit. I'm like, nigga, what the fuck is wrong with you? Another black man's political perspective has your panties in such a fucking bunch, you're not able to deal with it? You have to turn a conversation between 8 or 9 men into an attack on one? You effeminate fuck! I got something very special for you, son. Very special coming up for you. Again, I'm not naming no names. Who knows who I'm talking about? But I'm telling you, stop. You need to consider stop behaving like this. You disagree with a man, disagree with him. That's fine. But attacking him on other people's platforms, I'm going to have to come after you. And you don't want to be the center of my attention. Coming against me in a space where oratorical abilities are paramount is like picking a fight with the guy on your block that's been studying Muay Thai for the past 10 years, and you can barely throw a punch. It's not the wisest thing to do. You don't like me? Fine. You have every right to disagree with me. You know, you could put your conservatives in the chat and stuff. That stuff makes me laugh, man. I invite dissent. I invite disagreement because all it does is make my argument sharper. But personal attacks, they won't be tolerated, bro. Your best bet, if you can't deal emotionally with somebody's perspective, just stay away from them. But fomenting discord and hatred for people across other people's panels, you're going to catch some hell. And there's a good chance I'll be at the other side giving it to you. So that's it.
Red sings the blues in the building. He says, part of the last super chat, he says, I meant to say sell products to men with low self-esteem and anger and are desperate to get laid. So I'm assuming you're talking about dating coaches on that one. Also sent you an email regarding our interview Saturday. Okay, I'll be checking out that interview. I'm going to go over to Red Sings the Blues channel on Saturday at, I believe, 2 o'clock, 1 o'clock. Something of the sorts. I forgot the exact time, but I will be over there. We'll be letting you guys know and be sharing it in my community tab. Shout out to Osama Abdu in the building. He said, "Be our little big Nate." Match brought down from the heavens. Shout out
to my man Abdu, man. He's a day one dude, man. I appreciate that, bro. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Deadly River in the building, and let's see who else. No, that's it. He said, Bernard, one-on-one with LilBigNate, definitely gonna put 5 on this. Do your thing, brothers. Absolutely. Thanks and appreciate you. Y'all make sure y'all hit that like button. I see 233 in the building, only 92 on the likes. We should be over 200. We should be over 200. But give me over. Let's bump it up to a quick 115. We should be able.
Come on, I ain't no reason not to like this now. Come on.
We should be able to get a quick, easy 115 bump right now with the people that's sitting here watching. Like the video. Let people know you're here. You talked about the taking sides and the whole. You wrote something in there about jealousy. Like, what did you mean with that? Where you going with that one?
Well, you know, there's a jealousy. Okay, we all know about the success Kevin Samuels has experienced. I salute human achievement, especially Black male achievement. Now, if he achieved the success lying and manipulating Black women or pushing the same nonsensical narrative that gets pushed in mainstream media, then I could see taking shots at the guy. Now, there's no problem disagreeing with him. I don't necessarily agree with him on the whole high value man thing. I don't feel the need to mold my life around what another man might think is high value or not. Mm-hmm. But does the man have a right to his opinion? The answer is yes.
Yeah.
Kevin Samuels had AMS on his program, and he asked AMS, he explained what he believes a high value man is. And he asked AMS, he said, "Do you agree?" AMS said no.
Right. I remember that.
Yeah. AMS said, "No, I don't agree with you, Kevin." He said, in my opinion, a high value man could be someone making $50,000 if he's doing it in pursuit of his passion. Then and he's living a life with a sense of fulfillment. That's a high value man. Kevin Samuels didn't argue with him.
Right.
Kevin Samuels didn't attack him. He let that man have his opinion.
Yep.
We have to let men have their opinions. Kevin Samuels is experiencing a great deal of success. I applaud it. I don't agree with everything the man says. But part of the problem in the manosphere is the talent drain. Steph is cold. Now, again, I don't know the full histories of these men's relationship to the manosphere, but I know many of them started here. and then they go on to experience great success without mentioning the manosphere much. Now, you can attack those men for not paying homage to where they come from, but you also might want to inquire why they don't do it. You know, I mean, Steph is cold, AMS wildly successful, Kevin Samuels experiencing incredible amount of success, but several other men, from what I understand, started here and then left to go on to do bigger and better things. Why do these men have to leave this space to be successful like that? That's something we have to ask ourselves. That's something we're going to have to figure out the answer to. You know, does this environment foment men that, well, are we only going to have men that have 10, 20,000 subscriber channels? Or can men who have the talent and the ability to grow, 500,000 subscriber channels, will they be comfortable in this space? The whole gay thing in Kevin Samuels, man, that's none of my business. But can you blame him? Honestly, the amount of disrespect some content creators have shown, I'm not going to put it on the manosphere. That wouldn't be fair. But there's a very vocal and loud minority of men in this space that have made it their business to be very disparaging of the man. And honestly, what did he do to deserve it? Again, Kevin Samuels doesn't need me to defend him. None of these men do. But when I see us lose, I don't want to say lose. That might be the wrong thing to say. But when I see men with the abilities that an AMS, Steph is cold, Kevin Samuels has, appearing to disassociate themselves from the manosphere to a certain degree, that's disheartening. Because one of the biggest problems we have is growth. I don't know why you routinely don't have 2,000-3,000 people in your chat, man. You are an excellent host. Your perspective, the positions you have are clear and cogent. There is no reason by now you should not have 5-digit subscribers and a routine audience of a couple thousand or more. I've, from what I understand, the Manosphere is approximately 10 years old. And how big is this space now? Do we have 100,000 men coming here a day, a week?
I don't know.
That's terrible. That speaks to some significant problems, because we have some pretty heavyweight people listening to us. I've had conversations with guys behind the scenes, and of course I won't say the people's names, but there are some people of very high caliber listening to us. Now, with cancel culture and everything the way it is, I don't expect them to come out with full-throated endorsements of the manosphere, but the more people of high caliber that feel comfortable associating with this space, the more we will grow, the more successful every one of these content creators will be. And growth, man. I've been here for 3 years now in the manosphere, and I see Mr. Fantastic's audience growing slowly. I see your audience is growing, but it's not nearly where it should be. We should have thousands of men on various platforms. Brothers should be coming to this space and going off to whatever sector of the manosphere they're interested in, firearms proficiency over there, cryptocurrency over there, real estate down there. This could literally be a one-stop shop for Black men and other men to come and get the perspective of the people who, in all honesty, should be running the Black community.
Cool Kamazi in the building says LilBigNate and Bernard Riley respect 100. Stay fly. Also, Kenneth Williams, he says, make it plain. LilBigNate, make it plain. Shout out to you. And I believe I saw somebody else. Indigenous TV. Nate sounds like Shakespeare every time he talks. Right on. That's part of the reason why, like I said earlier, it wasn't just what he said. What he said was powerful. The first time I heard him speak, and I was like, okay, I got to bring him back on for a one-on-one. But it was also how he said it too. It was yeah. I mean, y'all hear it. Y'all hear it, man. The man was born to just speak in front of an audience. He was born to do that. And man, I appreciate everything you said about me and my show and how I do things as a host. I see a few people in the chat room alluded to the notion that I'm mainstream or something like that, but they kind of touched on what you were talking about, how this space could very well hold somebody back who has that potential, and then we see the people who had the potential who made it out, that I don't know if they strongly disassociate themselves from it. Some of them seemingly
I said
do.
somewhat. I said
Yeah,
somewhat.
exactly.
Yeah. I'm not saying that they've canceled out the Manosphere, or they've disassociated themselves completely. But it would be nice, and this is just my personal perspective. It would be nice to hear these men whose platforms are exploding send a shout out. I'm not asking them.
Well, hold on. Let me say this. Kevin Samuels, a lot of people made a big deal because he went to some channel that's apparently big, even though I never heard of him. And when I look at their views, Kevin Samuels gets more views than him. I think it was the No Jumper podcast or something. I don't know.
Oh, No Jumper's huge.
Okay, yeah, I never heard of him somehow, but I probably seen them, but just didn't pay attention to who they were. But I don't know. But either way it goes, Kevin Samuels currently on YouTube, at least. I don't know, maybe they're big somewhere else, but on YouTube, Kevin Samuels gets more views than they do. Kevin Samuels on his own channel, I actually saw him. This was after the Average at Best thing blew up, when he went from having I think he was probably routinely having, prior to the Average at Best situation, he was routinely having over 5,000 people.
7, 8,
yeah. But then when that happened, he went up to having anywhere from 15 to 20,000 people in there.
I've seen 22,000.
Yeah, the most I've seen was 20. But so I remember the first time he had 15,000 people in there live after he did his follow-up show after the Average at Best thing blew up. He literally looked right at the camera and just said, shout out to the Black Manosphere, and mentioned O'Shea and Obsidian by name.
And that's awesome. I'm not being critical of him, albeit for me to tell a grown man what to do with his platform. I'm not trying to do that. But why do these men feel the need to, quote unquote, leave? It's the same problem we experience in the Black community with our brain drain.
Yeah, our talented people, instead of being there and growing and building it up, they get some good job out somewhere, or they end up moving out somewhere, and then they're just gone. They're doing great, they're doing good, they're making money. They probably even do things to support, like we see it all the time with our celebrities, our rich Black people that may support some foundation or give to some charity. I did some content on Drew Holiday, who he donated $5 million of his salary to Black business organizations and foundations and all of that. So yeah, they do stuff, but it ends up being a situation where you have successful Black people sprinkled out all over the place, and then you got the hood over there, and it's almost like people in the Manosphere, they do get successful, and they end up branching out, and then it's like the rest of the Manosphere, just to shout out to Ty City, just because he basically explained this in his own way. It basically just turns into this the hood over here, but they are over there doing that. Now, to some degree, the algorithm dictates that you're out of it, and I've said that before. That a lot of the times when that algorithm hits you, your audience changes. If you get in a situation where you're getting anywhere from 500 to 1,000 new subs a day, some of those people start getting when they're on the rise. Just watch Kevin Samuels stuff. I think he's at 480,000 now. Go check at the start of next week. He might be at 490,000. He's going to be at probably going to be at a 500,000 real soon. So sometimes the algorithm itself will dictate that you're no longer in this particular sector, and all these new people come in. It's like it does turn into a hard situation, and you alluded to this. It turns into a hard situation. Do they go back and I hate to say it like this, but get down in the mud with the content creators that are I'm not going to beat up on them because they haven't had their big break yet, but it's some of them that may operate in a way that's not good for mainstream appeal. So it ends up turning into almost like a meritocracy of those that are doing good, that make it or got potential to make it. They should be working with those, and to some degree they do. They will work with smaller content creators that they think got the potential, but the overall Manosphere as a whole, and Obsidian has talked about this, and a lot of people didn't like how he was talking about it. And Obsidian, he has a way of overreaching and triggering people with the way that he go about stuff. But he was talking about the Manosphere cleaning up his act to some degree.
Gotcha.
And you know, and those type of things, they do matter as far as shut up, Ty City. He says Logic Sphere is not the hood. Stop stereotyping. But I didn't say the Logic Sphere was the hood. You were saying everybody other than everybody who didn't fall under what you called the new Manosphere was like the hood. That was more or less the message that I gathered from what you were saying in your new Manosphere series, volume 17.6. But anyway, but yeah, so it turns into a weird dynamic when people blow up. You know, are they supposed to be shouting out, you know, shout out to this obscure channel where they yell and scream on cell phones and say disrespectful shit about me? Shout out to them. It's like, it's like, what are we asking? What are we asking them to do? So that's why I said it turns into a meritocracy where the people that are showing potential of being where this person is someday, that person will get on. You know, the white person that makes it big and is living upper middle class or upper class lifestyle, he's not necessarily reaching back to Billy Ray from the trailer park to try to get him there. You know, it turns into a weird situation. But I got super checks. I rambled for a little bit, but I just wanted to
go right ahead, bro.
Wanted to try to respond to everything that you said, because you said a lot. You said a lot. I definitely liked what you said. I think we more or less in agreement, but I got people who came through. Grown man business in the building. Be looking in your email. I'm about to send you an email today when I get off the air, if I don't forget, because I get busy and forget stuff. But be checking your email. Grown man business says super chat was acting up on the first one. Salute to my brother Nate, one of the few real ones out here. Absolutely. Oh, hashtag men first. Can't forget that one. I love that, by the way. Hashtag
my man
men
GMB.
First.
Salute, sir. Appreciate that, man.
That hashtag men first. That's that's
he was the first to do it. I never
if I understand it right, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I like it so much. I want to start doing it myself. I gotta send him some money to use his slogan. But genuine trucker Tony, shout out to you. Got all those emojis, thumbs up, 100 emoji, fire emoji, red dot, half red pill, truck. Okay, that's a story in there. All right, Leo Anthony in the building. He says the problem is you have people who can't respectfully disagree and weirdos mixed in. Yeah, some weirdos mixed in. There's some they sprinkled in there. Yeah. But if more guys were like BR or MTR, fair, balanced, objective, and respectful, there wouldn't be so much of a problem. Appreciate that, Leo Anthony. Appreciate the super chat. Let's see who else we got in here. I think that might be the last one, but I feel like I'm missing somebody. Nope, I think that was the last one. Thank you, everybody who is supporting the show. We just jumped up to 340 people in the building. See what happened when you hit the like button. We had 159. Yeah, we have 159 likes right now. 340 people in here. We should be able to bump that up to 190 right now with the people we got in here. who haven't
How
hit
could
it,
you not like this? Come on
hit
now.
the like button. Hit the like button. We about to get into the more interesting part, the juicier part that I really wanted to talk about. We about to
The
dig
ladies.
right into that. We about to talk about the women. The women.
Wow. Okay.
I love talking about the women. That's what we're here for. We here to talk about the women.
Yeah, the ladies. The ladies. Very interesting. Very interesting. It's a serious point of discord in the manosphere. How do you deal with women? Okay. I'm only going to give you my perspective. You are free to disagree. Just try to be respectful when you do. Now, women in the audience is a good thing. It's a great thing because this space, and there's a couple of others like Jason Black, he doesn't associate himself with the manosphere. Couple of other places where Black women can actually be told the truth. Black women are a wholly owned subsidiary of the Democrat Party, the left, and modern day feminism. No one tells them the truth. Okay. None of the institutions they look to for guidance, none of the institutions that inform their thinking are honest with them. I don't think Black women are the least desirable women because they're Black. I don't think that at all. I don't think, I know why they're the least desirable woman, because they've spent 60 years under the tutelage of a group of people that have worked diligently to ruin them. Okay. Anytime you're associated with a political party as a woman who tells you you can kill the fruit of your womb, you may want to reconsider listening to them. Anytime you're dealing with a political party that tells you it's okay to be clinically obese, morbidly obese, you're still beautiful. Knowing how important beauty is in the life of any woman, it will dictate so much of your life. The caliber of men you have access to, it'll dictate the jobs you get. There's all sorts of social science pointing to the fact that beautiful women, beautiful people, are more likely to be hired than less attractive people.
But that's sexist, LilBigNate. That's sexist.
Well, yeah, there's going to be a lot of names I get called, and I'm okay with that. I'm used to it. And the only place telling Black women the truth is the manosphere, as far as I know. Again, a couple of other people on the periphery are doing it, but this is the only place where Black women can go from platform to platform to platform and come in contact with men unafraid to tell them the truth. And, you know, the Bible says the truth shall set you free. And it's true. It sets you free from a lot of things. It sets you free from delusion. It sets you free from apathy. It sets you free from feeling satisfied in your mediocrity. Knowing the truth about yourself, being able to make an honest assessment of yourself. And that's something Black women cannot do. And they can't do it because they have all sorts of different people in their ears telling them that there's nothing wrong. Everybody else is the problem, not you. The entire country walks around on eggshells around Black women. The entire fucking country. You're afraid to upset them. You're afraid to tell them the truth. You're afraid to be honest with them. And they have devolved into a group of people that have tens of thousands of videos across numerous platforms of them engaged in the most barbaric behavior imaginable.
Hold on, LilBigNate. Hold your thought. Hold your thought. We have a major problem here. I know LilBigNate channel is not officially up and running yet, but his channel still exists. That is the link. Absolutely. That is the link right there. I just dropped it in the chat. It's one of the moderators. Copy and paste it. Spam us out with a LilBigNate channel for the rest of the show. Keep spamming us out. I want it in the chat room for the rest of the show. Make sure y'all do that because he is going to be officially, formally starting his channel next week on Tuesday. On Tuesday. So mark your calendar. So yes,
I'm taking a whole week off just to do my channel. The whole week.
So you
get
want to be subscribed? Bang the bell right now. Right now. Bang that bell. Bang that bell. All right. Oh, and since I cut you off, let me go ahead and shout out Prophet of Thought
My
series
man.
in the building.
Yes, sir.
There's a brother Bernard. That's how I talk. Got my man up there. that's the best brother Xavier impression I can do right there. O'Shea Duke Jackson in the building says, shout out to Bernard with the daily hustle, daily grind. Don't call it a hustle because the hustle make it sound illegal. That's it was a debate over there. I think it might have been Game Changers channel where the concept of not knocking a hustle came up, but it had to get defined what a hustle was. When you're talking about a hustle, you're talking about somebody doing some shit they ain't got no damn business doing, other than versus a business versus somebody making an honest living. So yeah, but I don't know. I'm divided on that because when somebody running a business, they technically hustling, but it's not. But depends on how you define it. Depends on how you define it. Some people define
too often Black business is associated with things like hustling, and we do have to kind of try and rise above this nomenclature. Not to knock you for using the word hustle. You use the words that you want.
Yeah.
But yeah, we as Black business people, we do need to step up our game.
But we always call it a hustle. Like I remember I talked about how I buy products wholesaled and sell them at a higher retail price online on Facebook Marketplace. How I do that, and somebody's like, "Man, you trapping?" That's selling drugs, basically. But it's kind of that's Black people. We always look at it like that. So I don't know. Sometimes I get over particular and say we need to change the language and how we describe stuff, and then sometimes I don't care, whatever, call it what you want. But I don't know. But I just recently saw a good debate on the word hustle and whether or not we should stop using that word to describe honest, legitimate business. But anyway,
just to that point, consider the fact that we as Black men routinely use words like crib, mommy, game. All these are the language of an adolescent.
Yes.
And, again, I don't want O'Shea to think I'm saying anything negative about
him. Oh, no, you can't say nothing about negative about O'Shea.
No, I'm not saying anything about that. It's just, all of us as Black men, we need to step up our game. We do. Yeah. We do in a whole host of subjects. But
shout out to O'Shea Duke Jackson. Appreciate the super chat, the PLN. That's Poland money. I don't even know how much that 15 is, but I take it. O'Shea always comes through. O'Shea is somebody who's sitting on like 120,000 subs. He still shout out to Manosphere, still come back, still is a part of it. So shout out to O'Shea.
Absolutely, one of the founders.
Yeah. Sitting on 123,000 last I checked. So
let me ask you this, Bernard.
O'Shea's still in the mix. Hold on, real quick. Hold on. Hold your thought on that question, and you was damn. Hold on. I almost missed all these. Ace and Spades in the building. Can we stop the anti-abortion rhetoric already?
No. The answer's no. How about that? Get out of your fucking feelings. You don't want no parts of my channel. I tell you that right now. 300,000 dead Black children, and you want me to stop with the rhetoric? The fuck is wrong with you, nigga? Goddamn hoteps. You got more concern for somebody who died of some type of asphyxiation after robbing pregnant women and passing counterfeit bills than you have for over 250,000 dead Black children every year. You better stay the fuck away from my channel. It's not where you want to be.
All right.
Feelings. You're mad about talking about abortion. That's what upsets you. A conversation about it. Not the act of these women ruining themselves with this behavior. What the fuck do you think happens to a woman who kills her child? You think you walk away from that with no psychological or emotional damage? You complain about how nasty and violent and abusive these women are. Where the fuck do you think it comes from? can't stand weak niggas. Ace is spades. Stay away from my fucking channel. You're not gonna like what you hear. I cannot stand when niggas are more concerned about a conversation that makes you uncomfortable than you are about the ruin of an entire group of women through the behaviors they choose to engage in at the prompting of the Luciferian left. You niggas are fucking insane. Sorry, Bernard.
All right, no.
I cannot stand that shit. You're more angry about a conversation than you are about actions that is ruining us as a people. That's what I don't understand, sir.
All right. Yeah. Got nothing to add to that.
I'm sorry,
I
man.
just find no. You good. I understand because I got triggered as well just with the way he worded it. Can we stop with the anti-abortion rhetoric already? If he would have made an argument that went somewhere along the lines of, I personally don't believe life starts at conception. It's kind of hard to draw the line exactly where life starts. I can follow the logic and end up agreeing or disagreeing with that. But he's just basically saying, just no, just don't talk about it. Just la la, can't hear you. That's where I'm like, dude, like, come on, like that's where I agree. That's where I agree with you.
You've addressed that several times on your channel. Why are you trying to stifle debate? Always trying to stifle debate. Don't do that. You don't agree with the person? Fine. List your objections in the chat. Nothing wrong with dissension.
Yeah.
But stop trying to stop the conversation from happening. You sound like somebody who wants to practice cancel culture. We know cancel culture is synonymous with black females. We should be doing everything within our power not to come off like them.
Make sure y'all go subscribe to LilBigNate. He's going to be formally starting his channel on Tuesday. And if you like the fire and brimstone that you're getting right now from LilBigNate, you're going to be getting that. He said he's taking the whole week off the week that he started his channel so he can go in. So make sure that you hit that subscribe button. I see right now SKC is dropping the link to the channel in the chat. Brother Xavier dropping the link to LilBigNate's channel in the chat. I see a few more people doing it. Make sure that Young Jay doing it. Shout out to everybody who's dropping that channel. I think Evie Now is doing it right there. Shout out to her. Everybody. So yeah, make sure y'all go check him out. Y'all know it's going down next week. Y'all know it's going down. Grown man.
If I could do this, let me apologize to that gentleman.
Now you want to apologize? No, you can't come back from that.
No, I'm not backing away from what I said. It's I don't think I took any personal shot at him. I don't want to come off like that. I want this brother to understand how destructive this issue is. Let me just give you some information here. I'm going to do a presentation called LilBigNate versus abortion. I'm reading a book right now. When I'm finished with that book, probably a month or two down the road, I'm going to do a whole presentation called LilBigNate versus abortion. Shout out to my brother Xavier. He was the first to put on the screen LilBigNate versus, with the whole debate thing. And I love that idea. And some of my streams will be that. One of my first streams is going to be LilBigNate versus the ABW and her misconceptions about protection. That'll be one of the first 3 streams I do. And LilBigNate versus abortion will be one also. But I want you to think about this. For those of you who think abortion is, oh man, let's not talk about it. Oh man, what are you talking about? Listen to what I'm about to tell you. How many black people are there in America? 42, 43 million, from what I understand.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Okay.
Give or take.
Now, since 1974, black women have had approximately 22 million abortions.
That's crazy.
Now listen to what I'm about to say. And if you can find fault with it, I'm going to want you to come up here and tell me where I'm wrong. Black American women have murdered 1/3 of our race in the last 50 years. At a minimum, 1/3 of Black people have been put to death in the last 50 years. 22 million, you juxtapose that to 42, 43 million, that's a third. How do you not take issue with 1/3 of Black people being extinguished? If it was white people doing it, you'd have all sorts of shit to say. But because it's Black women, and also because some of you men have promoted the idea, you got a problem with me speaking on it. No, this is a very serious issue that gets swept under the rug. 7% is what Black women represent in the American population, yet they account for almost half of the 56 million abortions that's been had since 1974. 7% of the population accounting for almost half of the abortions. If that does not speak to a recklessness, if that does not speak to a complete abandon of the very idea of virtue, I don't know what to tell you. If you don't have a problem with that, there's not much we're going to have in common, sir. So, yes, I take the issue very seriously, and I'll be speaking about it on my channel.
Make sure you go subscribe. Grown man business in the building. He says Black women lead in STDs, abortion, single motherhood, obesity, same-sex relationships, multiple children by multiple men. We have allowed our women's behavior to run unchecked for far too long. I think that speaks to part of the reason why LilBigNate is to say is that he wants women in this space, in the audience, listening.
Back to the subject.
But let me hold on. Let me get through a few more super chats. We're about to go in on that one right there. But Indigenous TV in the building. He says, brothers in this space have won a lot of battles, but the war isn't done. The Black Manosphere has to win the war first. It's happening bit by bit. I agree with that. A lot of battles have been won, but the war is not over. All right. Let's see. Who else did we have?
Get them likes up
here. Let's see. Where was we at? The Mac the trucker in the building with a super chat. He said, LilBigNate, the Manosphere motivational speaker. Absolutely. Ty City in the building. He says, can we stop with the Pookie shaming rhetoric already? Hashtag let's go.
I shamed Pookie? When did I shame
Ty City? He just trolling. He trolling. Don't pay him no more.
I don't even use that like Pookie Ray stuff.
Pookie shaming and marriage shaming. Ty City marriage shaming. That's the thing that that Ty City. I think Ty City did a stream on that because people got accused of marriage shaming when they were criticizing the institution and whatnot. But anyway, marriage shaming, Pookie shaming, abortion shaming. Anyway, Sketch 1001 says, I have a shades of gray question. Holy shit. Okay. How do you feel when a woman want to abort a baby why is that shades of gray? Rape, and especially her husband doesn't want it as well.
I got it. Sure.
Go ahead.
Abortion to me boils down to responsibility. A woman who's raped, her pregnancy is involuntary. A woman who's molested, it's the same thing. First and foremost, in a world that I ran, the rapist would be put to death once it's been proven beyond a shadow of a doubt that it was an actual rape. And the woman should have the right to choose what she does with the child. She can end the child's life if she chooses, or she can have the child. It's up to her. But a woman who is engaged in just normal sex with a man, she understands the consequences of not protecting herself. It is a issue of responsibility. And again, aborting a child as a result of rape, it's still killing a child. It is. But it's ultimately about responsibility and accountability. If you subsidize accountability, anything the government subsidizes, they're going to get more of. Anything they put money behind, they're going to get more of. They put money behind single motherhood. We have an explosion of it in the Black community, and it's spreading into the white community. You subsidize abortion through Planned Parenthood. Women believe they can be as reckless and irresponsible as they want because they have these institutions to fall back on. You remove these institutions, they will have no choice but to adjust their behavior. And nothing's going to change in Black America until, for the most part, Black women change their behavior. There is no amount of guilting and shaming and cajoling that's going to make Black men come to the table and deal with a woman who is hell bent on self-destruction. The very first time I appeared on that platform with the two women on it,
you mean the broke down women?
Yeah,
okay.
something like that.
Okay.
Yeah. I told them, I said, Black women destroy themselves. They listen to all the wrong people. People are being made wealthy off your dysfunction and the chaotic way you choose to live your life. And oddly enough, the very people God himself puts in charge over your footsteps, you don't want to listen to. The Quran says, I heard Obsidian say this not too long ago, men are the maintainers of women. That is the exact thing we're supposed to be doing. You're supposed to be getting your information on how to live, where to go, who to deal with, where to stay from men like us, men who accept that responsibility and take it seriously. Okay. We are the people you're supposed to be listening to. That's why I encourage women to come to in the audience of the Manosphere and listen. Because again, there's no place you're going to be given this truth that I know of. If there are other places, please make me familiar with them so I can support them too. But now the big question is women content creators. That's, I think, the ultimate issue that is kind of tearing away at the Manosphere. You got brothers that are okay with female content creators. You got brothers who insist that, you know, they're so busy forecasting the demise of the Manosphere because there are a few women creating content for this space, if you will. I'm gonna give you my position, okay? And this is just my perspective. I'm not telling you to agree with me. I'm just giving you my perspective on the issue, okay? I think it comes down to the number. If you have 300 Black Manosphere content creators that are male, what percentage are female? 30 would be 10%. Would you be okay with 10% of the Manosphere being women creating content for this space?
By creating content for this space, you do mean creating content to support,
attract a male audience.
Creating content, but you mean creating content to support this space that is more or less in line with what's being said.
Yeah. The content would be in line with this space. How comfortable would you be with a specific number of women doing that? Now, from what I understand, again, if I'm wrong, feel free to let me know in the chat. You know, we have however many male content creators, and there's a few women. There's your Jessica X, your Sister George and Concrete Rose. I think. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
They wouldn't meet the criteria as far as. Okay. Well, no, they're a part of this space because they're a part of this algorithm. That's why I was specific and said women who support the message in this space. They're really the counter to this space. They're the they're in my opinion, I'm not even gonna say my opinion. They're part of the sisterhood down here in the trenches fighting for the other side. There's no other way to look at that. But So I don't know if they fit what you're trying to say. Like the ones who would fall into the category, Jessica X would fall in that category. Melody
Yep.
just started her channel; she would fall in that category. Kendra
Okay.
D has been holding it down for I think 2-3 years in that category. I
Yeah.
believe Nicole Ali and Edward Anderson actually came up here and reeled off a bunch of names of a lot of women that I never even heard of, who I think
Okay.
that I don't know if they make content. I think they make content. I don't know. I'm not going to say what they are because I haven't seen it. But Edward
Okay. Well,
Anderson reeled off
you
a
know,
bunch of names. But I understand where you're going. You're talking about women who make content that more or less support this space, and would we be okay with a percentage of them if it's 300 male content creators? If 30 women were doing something similar, would we have a problem with that?
yeah.
10% sounds high, but it's really not. But there's the factor of, and this is what guys are worried about when their channels get big. Do they start gradually peeling off the mask and they're gradually becoming something else? And then it turns into a situation where they're just building off the algorithm of the manosphere and figuring out a way to gradually get bigger and bigger and branch off something else. And eventually it'll turn into just their channel will turn into what amounts to like a Chrissy channel. Yeah, I take it you're familiar with Chrissy.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. That's what a lot of brothers are worried about, legitimately or not. That's what they're worried about.
No, that is definitely a legitimate concern. I think it was on Mr. Fantastic's channel, Jessica X and I believe Melody were up there, and I addressed them. I told them, I was like, look, black men are so logical, rational, reasonable, black women starved that when one speaks like they have some sense, it's like finding $100 bill on the ground, dude. It's like, oh my God, I can't believe this is happening. I mean, niggas have a tendency to like fall in love with these fucking broads. I'm serious. That's how powerful a woman coming off, especially a black woman coming off as rational and reasonable is. It's like an elixir, man. It'll get you drunk. And I was like, look, please be mindful. These men are starved for women who think and speak rationally. I said, it's dangerous to play with these men's emotions. Don't do that. I said, if this is what you believe, make sure you're consistent with this message. Don't let some personal issue with a black man or something that happens completely turn you around like it did April Mason. I mean, there's so many instances of black men being lulled to sleep by sweet words and a pretty face, only to have this woman spit in your fucking face because something that happened in her personal life that has nothing to do with all the men that support you. Be mindful of that. Now, when it comes to women content creators, I'm for a free society and a free marketplace. Let the women do what they want to do. Let them get up on that platforms. Let them talk. There's women like Danica Marie, Jessica X. I've termed a phrase called rudimentary red pill. Okay, that's what a lot of these ladies do, and that's fine. Build your business, build your audience, make your money. I celebrate your success. But I think the number could become problematic. If you have a whole bunch of women, first of all, you won't be able to keep control over the message that they're giving if a number of women start hopping up on platforms and proclaiming they're part of the manosphere or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It needs to be kept to a minimum. And those women need to pass some extremely stringent standards. They need to meet some pretty specific standards on what their message is. It has to adhere to the overall, red pill ideology of this space. If she can do that on a consistent basis over a protracted period of time, then, let her do her thing. Those brothers that can go there and they feel that they should support them. And don't be mad at the women. Be mad at the audience. It's the men that go there to support those women. So if you're gonna be mad at anybody, be mad at the men, not the content creator. As long as her content, coincides with what this space promulgates.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Sean Perry says, appreciate the fire from LilBigNate. Somebody named Nizzy Nate says, LilBigNate, do you really about black? I think he means, do you really care about black babies, or are you just spewing more of this Negro-ganda in the manosphere? Wow,
you spent a whole $5 to say that. Congratulations.
Ace in Spades came back with a similar shit. That thing disappeared. I'm gonna have to go dig that up. I'm gonna dig up some super chats because some people super chatted some things that I do want to deal with. Zero in the building. He says, there's no way y'all don't see that you can't stop the growth of women channels once they're in. Saying anything with titties is going to be way more effective than saying it with an Adam's apple. Well said, Zero.
I don't know if I agree with that.
I'll say this. Let me say this before you say that. I don't want to say this. It's gonna sound like I'm taking shots, but put it like this: the broke down women had a lot of titties, well, uncammed up titties, but a lot of titties on their channel the other day, and the views didn't exactly go through the. I mean, it was solid views, but it wasn't more views than me and you got with just a and you sitting there with a circle with a lowercase L as the I or L,
whatever that is.
Yeah, I mean, so I'm not 100% convinced on what Zero is saying. I think the women
with that either.
Yeah, the women do gotta have. It's okay. I mean, it's a number of factors in the equation. Jessica X, for example, when she started out, it was sexy voice, sexy avatar. Eventually, she to me, she showed that she was worth her salt as a content creator when she started debating those girls that came over from Chrissy and Crystal and Karazin channel, and she actually got Shira 7 and Crystal and Karazin to show up, and she debated them and picked them apart. So I'm like, hey, she proved herself in the arena of debate. That's what she's actually good
for. Strategic thinking. God damn.
Yeah, she killed it. She did.
Yeah.
So that's for me. That's how she proved she was worth a damn here. Before that, I was like, okay, whatever. But she did the damn thing right there. So I give her props for that one. But as far as I forgot the larger point I was trying to make. Oh, to Zero's point about it will be always said better with people going to always listen with titties. I think to some degree the titties, in order for it to really grow, the titties got to show that they got some kind of talent. I can't speak for Danica Marie's growth, because she had like 70,000 subs when the Manosphere found her. So her growth ain't got nothing to do with us.
Absolutely.
So she was already, I think she was doing her thing on Facebook for a while and transitioned over to YouTube. I don't know her exact origin story, but she been at this thing. So as far as somebody who actually grew from the ground up in this space and got really big and kind of extending outside of the space, because Jessica X has people who I've never even seen donating to her. And I don't think they even frequent any other Manosphere channels, or maybe they listen in the clouds. So she kind of started out in the Manosphere and then built her own little thing up. So that's really one example of somebody who really truly blew up off of the Manosphere. Kendra D and the others, they have a Manosphere audience, but they haven't really blew up off of the Manosphere. So it's kind of early to call it whether or not just simply titties alone is going to make you just shoot to the moon. And I could criticize the broke down women all I want. They did put in work. They were strategic too. They did get shout outs. They took the time to solicit the right shout outs from Obsidian, BGS, and all of that. And so they did put in work. They were strategic. So it's not. I don't think it's just titties. But go ahead. You was trying to say something. I kept cutting you off.
I agree completely. There has to be a message that's going to resonate somewhat with the audience. I got a funny Jessica X story. I was listening to Mr. Fantastic, and my son came home from Muay Thai practice, and he I was cooking in the kitchen and he walks by and Jessica X is talking. My son's like, who is that? I said, it's this woman, Jessica X. He says, let me see what she look like. So I showed him the avatar. I said, that's supposed to be her. He said, wow. My son's 22. That voice, yeah. There's more to the voice than there is to titties, in my opinion. in that particular case, but yeah, man. I mean, we're men. A soft feminine voice it's supposed to have an effect on us. That's part of what the gifts God gives women to nurture and to calm your nerves. And you're supposed to be able to come home and have a woman, make all the events of the day, seem that much better. So it's natural.
I think that's what Jessica X does for a lot of guys.
Exactly.
She makes all the events of the day just feel that much better, and they just feel loved when they listen to her.
And what a lesson for Black women who routinely go around sounding like men.
Well, we'll put it like this, and I've said I don't know if I've said this formally on the air about Jessica X. She has a soft, feminine sounding voice, but when you really listen to her in those debates,
she'll chop you up. Yeah.
She's very damn combative. It's just she's batting for us, so it's okay. But I could imagine her. I could imagine her being in a relationship with a dude and using those same type of rhetorical tactics to win an argument when she know damn well she wrong. So I don't know how much that translates, but it sounds cute when she do it. But I think she's pretty damn combative. She just batting for us, so we don't notice it. We saw an example of what it looked like when she being combative. Like, okay, when she went at Steve the Dean, and I felt, in my opinion, she was wrong. It's okay to have a philosophical disagreement, but she tried to take rip a man's balls out of his.
I heard about it. I saw that.
That wasn't cool. That wasn't cool.
Did that happen on your show?
No. That happened on Platinum's show. And it was some more. And well, don't worry, it was Sister George went full Super Saiyan hyena over there too. Part of the reason why she over here wrenchless, but that's another story. But but yeah, it was all kinds of fuckery taking place on there. But damn, what was the point? Yeah, soft feminine voice, all of that matters. But but I don't really see that with Jessica X. Only thing I hear with her is just, damn, she's pretty good at debating and arguing. She's cunning and crafty, and she's quick with it when it comes to arguing the talking points against detractors. That's what I see. But if some people are over there just because it makes them feel all warm and fuzzy inside to hear a soft voice with an accent, go ahead, do your thing. But that's not what drew that's not what drew me to her channel. I can actually go in and listen and see, I can stop and listen and hang out for 30 minutes and just listen to what's going on over there. But yeah. But Zero back in the building. He says that's one stream opposed to an entire history of women killing it over men. Come on, man. Come on, man. That Biden voice. I didn't notice until right now that he say that all the time.
Come on, man.
Come on, man. Y'all being denial river swimmers right now. Perhaps. But perhaps. I don't know. The chat moving fast, and nope, I gotta find that one. Emancipated Negress, who I do think you need to change that name. I don't like it, but whatever. She donated $50 on the super chat. She says, well, here's a super chat for you, since I guess my smaller ones didn't count. LOL. Wow. She talking about her I didn't know you had small breasts until you just told me. Oh no, wait, she's not talking about breasts.
Chats.
Okay, yeah. We were saying say it with titties. People pay attention more when they say it with titties. That's when she posted that. So I thought she was talking about her titties.
Wow, boy.
Okay, no. She's talking about her smaller super chats. They counted. They mattered.
Chats, yeah.
They mattered. Super chats matter. You know what? You just bought yourself a temporary wrench. I'm gonna see if you say something stupid. I'm gonna see if you say something stupid to lose it. Women be losing wrenches all the time over here. I rent out. I lease wrenches to women over here. Y'all can lose them real fast. It take a lot for a man to lose the wrench, but a woman, if you just sneeze out of turn, give me that damn wrench. You out of here. All right, Zero in the building. He says the L Gibbets are coming already here, but no, they not. No, they not. But y'all gonna act like y'all don't see that either. If they come, I'm sorry, what's that?
What's L Gibbets?
I think that's the LGBTQRS people.
Oh, got it.
If they come, they'll be coming on the Broke Down Women's channel because I think that I can see them interviewing one. I can see that all day. Again, y'all gonna Zero. Act like y'all don't see that either. No, Zero. Men have the rhetoric, the rhetoric battle right now. Yeah, I don't see where the L Gibbets coming. I don't see Black Manosphere accepting that one guy came out of the closet, not on the Black Manosphere channel, but he didn't come out of the closet on the Black Manosphere channel, but he was lurking around the Manosphere. But when he came out of the closet somewhere else, he has not been seen here since. So I don't think the Manosphere will accept it. But I can see the Broke Down Women having doing an interview with an L Gibbets person. If that's what they call it. Jessica made a pimp cry by calling him a crackhead. Damn. That's probably the greatest thing in 2021. Where's Ty City and SKC with those clips? Oh, Ty City said he's going to do I saw that in the chat. It was moving fast. But get out of there, Ty City. He said that
get those likes up, please.
He said he's gonna do something on her calling out deadbeats. I didn't like that was a calculated misstep by her, on my opinion, because I do content calling out dudes who just be like, fuck them kids. I go after guys that do that, so we don't need. I don't think that's her. I don't think that should be her thing, calling out the deadbeats lurking among us. Because some dudes do that. Because Obsidian did a good stream where he was making a sensible argument about whether or not a man owes his baby mama, not his ex-wife, just a woman he got pregnant. He was saying, beyond child support, do you owe her something else? I think he made it clear that you may very well owe your child some more than just child support, if that's what you're doing. And I agree with that one. But as far as putting more money in the hand of the mother, he's saying, no, you're not obligated or required to do that. And then it was a couple guys who came out the woodwork and was making some really reckless deadbeat type statements. And I wasn't with that shit. And Jessica X made a follow-up video to the deadbeats. And I was like, I didn't know how I felt about her being the one trying to go at guys about being deadbeats and whatnot. But yeah, it is what it is. She did what she did, and Ty City got the clips. Put it like that. He said I think he's going to try to make something out of it. We'll see. But he says all these Manosphere women are one hurt away from flipping the script. Very possible. Very possible. Very possible.
In the track record. There was a gentleman that put up a super chat asking me about, do I really care about children and some Negro?
Yeah, let's get to that one.
Yeah, I genuinely care about children, sir. I was awarded full custody of my two children after my divorce in 2004. They were 5 and 2, and I raised them by myself with no help from their mother until my daughter turned 17. The ex-wife had largely turned her life around, and she was able to go live with her mother. So yeah, I'm very serious about Black children. I'm very serious about the type of children we put out. The most revolutionary thing any Black man or woman could do would be to raise their children properly, to give their children the focus, the nurturing, the cultivation that will allow them to go out into the public and represent Black America well. But that's not something we concern ourselves with too much, especially Black women. It's primarily on Black women because they, number one, aren't interested in having their children with proper Black men while they're young, only in eliciting those men as stepfathers, approximately 5, 8, 10 years later. And the men that they choose to have these children with are often part of that lower 20% of Black men, that chaotic, dysfunctional group of Black men at the bottom of our socioeconomic ladder. And you know what's weird? I've noticed this. You never hear young, and especially young, attractive Black women say, "Where are all the good Black men?" I have never heard a young woman in her 20s say that, ever. because they know where the good black men are. They're approaching them. They're trying to date them. They're trying to develop relationships with them. And oftentimes these young ladies are not interested. They'll curb them, friend zone them, whatever. Only to call on these men 10, 15 years later, after the illegitimate children, after the abortions, after the 80 to 100 pounds in weight gain. That doesn't work, ladies. It just doesn't.
All right. For those of you who super chats I may have missed, I got it pulled up right now. Workout with Wayne says, appreciate this channel and the AM time slot. Keep it up. Consider tying in some health related topics in the future. I touch on that, and yeah, you good call. We will do some more of that. I'll be talking about my own little personal health journeys and struggles, because I'm in and out the gym. I'm in and out of a healthy diet. I'm almost forced to be on a healthy diet right now, even though I cheated yesterday. But I'm kind of forced to be on it. I had a semi-small potential health issue that was just kind of a wake up, like, all right, let me quit bullshitting and get it together. So yeah, we do need to tie in more health. Good call. Good stuff. Eighth in spades, he says, this was that one. He says, no one is trying to stifle debate. It was the words like murder and killing children. If it's murder, would you treat it like an actual murder? Referring to abortion. Go ahead, LilBigNate.
If the laws are passed, absolutely. That's how it should be treated. Doctors that engage in it, women that engage in it. I'm all for a woman's right to choose. Choose the men you're with. Choose the circumstances under which you have sex with said man. Those are where your choices begin and stop. Once you're pregnant, you're only afforded a couple of choices. The choice to give birth to that child and raise it, or the choice to give birth to that child and put it up for adoption. Do you know that every year there are more people waiting to adopt children than there are abortions? Any of those children would be snatched up by families. Go ahead and suffer through the 9 months of discomfort, madam. You put yourself there. Have that child and give it up for adoption. Unless you think it's going to be easy to live with the fact you killed your child. You want to play a fucking game of semantics. I'm not playing that game with you. Okay? It's the left that tells these women, oh, it's just a bunch of cells. Oh, it's just a fetus. That womb of yours, it's yours, but it's also the Creator's. It's where he does his work. You play no role in the forming of that child, the dropping of that child into the birth canal, the growth of the epithelial tissue, the spine, the nervous system. What role do you play in that? You play none. That's the Creator doing his work, or however you view how human life comes to fruition for those who aren't religious. It's not just your womb. You don't like the word murder? The taking of a human life, an innocent human life, is usually considered that, whether it's in the womb or out. That's my position. You disagree with me? There will be StreamYard links for you to hop up on my channel and challenge me, okay? But that's my position, no matter how uncomfortable it makes you. I am very serious about the lives of our children, period. The children of this country, period. But especially Black children. No, these Black women run around talking about they're the least protected. Shout out to Brother Xavier. He's the only one I've seen do any kind of content addressing the fact that that's a fucking lie.
Oh, wait, don't forget about me. I've done like 3 streams explaining how that's some bullshit. Yeah, I've been calling that out. I've been calling that out.
That is absolute bullshit.
And that's an area where I think the Black Manosphere takes a calculated misstep, because a lot of them like to double down and lean into that punch when they say that y'all not protecting Black women. A lot of what men in this space seem to hear is y'all not protecting some ratchet chick who got caught stealing weave from some Korean hair store. That's what it seems like. That's what brothers are hearing, and they like, oh hell no, we not protecting that. If we see Mr. Chin got you in a full Nelson because you tried to steal some weave out of his store, we ain't protecting that ratchet shit. But
black.
Go ahead. No, go ahead. But go ahead. I pass it to you.
I was gonna say, black women don't want protectors. Black women want enablers. That's what they want.
Shout out to Brother Xavier. He said it best, and I've been using it ever since. He said they want protection from criticism. That's what they want.
Absolutely. And they want enablers. They want people who will protect them as they engage in all of this destructive fucking behavior, dude. You don't even have to look at World Star or Media Takeout or Bossip. Just turn on any tattoo reality show, turn on any reality show where black women are the predominant members of the cast, and what do you see? Fighting, cursing, people throwing drinks in each other's faces, yanking each other's hair hats off. This is the image of the American black woman, dog. I don't understand. I don't understand how this is not the most pressing problem in Black America. Not white racism, not white supremacy, not white police officers occasionally killing a black man who, for all intents and purposes, seems like he's trying to kill them. Not in every case. There are legitimate cases of police misconduct. And those police, if you kill a man, in my opinion, you should pay with your life. There was a case in Charlotte, North Carolina. I think it was like 2014 or 15. There was a assistant basketball coach coming out of Florida. He was driving north on I-77. It was late at night. He crashed on the interstate. He called the police for help. The police came out and he ended up dead. This guy was an assistant coach. I don't remember at what college it was in Florida, an assistant basketball coach. And he ended up dead, and the cop got off. That upsets me. Philando Castile upsets me. There are cases that are upsetting and need to be addressed, but I'm sorry, most police killings are legit. They just are. I'm sorry. Yeah. But I don't understand how you're more upset over the 235 black men that died at the hands of police in 2019 versus the 7,484 black people that died from murder, 96% of which were killed by black people. And then, of course, to the cherry on top is the over 300,000 aborted black children. How in the hell are you more angry at the deaths by police, most of which are legitimate kills, versus all the illegitimate killing we do amongst each other? That's what I don't understand.
Ace and Spades back at it with another one. Thanks for the super chats. Appreciate him. He says, so just to be clear, you're going to treat every abortion as legal murder. Do you want to deal with that part right there?
Yeah, sure. If the right to abortion is taken away, absolutely it's a murder. This will force women to think about their actions. Why don't you see the benefit in women conducting their affairs intelligently? Instead of being mad about somebody being punished for committing an act of murder, why not push the idea, look, ladies, you're going to need to be more responsible for your actions. You are in charge of that womb, that vagina, all that is under your direction. Whatever happens to it is on you. That's the message that needs to be put. You're worried about a bunch of reckless, irresponsible women ending up in jail. Too fucking bad for them. Too bad. Learn, for God's sakes, imagine insisting on being married before you even have sex. Oh my God. Oh, Nate, that's unreasonable. That'll never happen. Well, it'll absolutely never happen if that's the attitude you take towards it. I didn't even teach my children not to have sex outside of marriage. I taught my children that you are responsible for your behavior and your life, especially my daughter. She was given all sorts of lessons, and she's 19 now. If she decides to disregard my directives, cool. She'll destroy herself. And you need to let these women destroy themselves. Let them. Let them. Until they develop a proper level of appreciation for the types of men that are supposed to be over them. You're supposed to be under the leadership of a proper black man, instead of waiting until you've damn near destroyed yourself and asking them to come clean up the mess you've made. No, no, no. This doesn't work. It's not going to happen. You are responsible for your life. You're responsible for any life that comes into your womb. You decide you think it's okay to just willy-nilly go on ahead and kill the fruit of your womb, to kill the work that God is doing inside of you, then you go ahead and do it. There'll be a price to pay, whether it's prison or whether it's the guilt and regret that you'll experience for the rest of your life. I know 3 women that have had abortions. I know 1 woman that has had 3 abortions. I was on a brother's platform that told me he knows a woman that has had 8.
I didn't even know. Whoa, I didn't even know you can get 8. I thought after so many, they like, no, we can't do this no more.
Why? What's wrong with it? It's just a procedure. Why not have 8? Why not have 10? Why not have 15? It's just a procedure. It's no big deal.
I didn't know you could do that.
Yeah. Well,
the rest of the question that he put out there, he says, "Are you willing to?" Well, I think you kind of answered the rest of the question and everything that you said. But he says, "Are you willing to advocate for putting women in prison for life or having them face the death penalty?" Like
no,
actual.
I would never give them the death penalty. I wouldn't even give them life in prison. I'd give them a significant number of years where they can sit and think about. Do you want some?
Well, hold on. Well, it's important. It's important to make sure the steps in the process are established. You're saying that if abortion is completely 100% illegal and outlawed in this country across the board, or even in a particular state,
life of the mother and abortion
or rape. I don't know if we're yet on that, but that's another issue. People are trying to deflect when they try to bring rape into it, but
it's less than 2%.
Yeah, I thought it was less than 1% of abortions came.
I've read 2%. It could be
okay. All right. Either way. So you're basically saying, let's just say if the conservatives win the culture war in the political war and abortion is made illegal across the board, I think a precedence could be set that, okay, it is illegal to do this. It is deemed that aborting a child is the same as killing a human life. So if somebody does get some off the record abortion in a basement, yeah, I think they did. If it's defined legally that way, then legally they did commit murder, and then legally you can then go forward and put out some harsh penalties via the law that way. Right now, somebody's saying treat them like murderers. You know, it's important to point out that no, abortion is legal right now. Right now, it's legal. So should you treat them like murderers? They basically that's their low key way of trying to get you charged up and sounding like somebody who wants to go bomb an abortion clinic with people in it. That's so I just want to pump the brakes on that, because that's the path they're trying to walk you down. Hold your thought on that one, because there was some more super chats that came through. Some a quite hefty one came through from some. Let me see. Hold on, real quick. Letters to my people. Shout out to you, like that name, Letters to My People. But most who are killed by the police are unarmed. There's nuance to that, and we ain't getting into it.
Any stats that suggest they've divided it armed and unarmed. I don't know if that's true.
Yeah, we're not getting into that. That's a whole nother topic. And it's a lot of nuance to that one. You could be unarmed in a. I'm not getting into that. I'm not getting into that. That's too much. A whole nother topic and a whole nother rabbit hole to go down. And we're gonna stay semi-focused today. Counselor Murray in the building. He says, "Black women thirst for instant gratification continues to destroy our culture." Salute, brothers. Thank you for that one, Counselor Murray. Appreciate you. Let's see where else we at. What we got in here? But thanks for that super chat. Letters
Shout out to
to my
Council.
people. Oh yeah, absolutely. Consul Murray is that guy. I don't even know what the hell to call you because you got symbols and hieroglyphics as your name. Can you decipher that into what is that? Oh, I think that says ice.
I have no idea.
That might say ice.
Maybe. I'm not sure.
I'm not sure either, but he says off today finally caught a live of yours, Bernard, plus with the one of my soon to be YouTube faves, LilBigNate. Says signing. Oh no, he said singing in my opera voice. Still wanting on that soprano note, LilBigNate. And what?
Salute, bro.
Still waiting on that soprano note.
I
don't know what you're talking about. I don't know if you sing I think he's saying you have a voice that you sound like you could sing opera, but I don't think you do high pitched soprano. I don't think that's your note. I don't think you do that one.
I don't think we want to find that out. No.
But no, seriously, very serious question. Can you sing?
I'm be honest with you.
Okay, no, stop. Let me rephrase the question. Has anybody ever told you that you can sing?
No, I know I'm terrible because
right.
what I do when I used to talk to my children and to make them cringe, I would start singing in like a 50s, like a scat. I'd snap my fingers and I'd say whatever I was thinking in the form of a song, and it would make them cringe. It's horrible. It's terrible. I'm gonna do it on my channel because it's. I think it's gonna be hilarious. But yeah, I'm terrible at singing. Yeah, you don't want to hear that, man.
Okay, yeah. Then that just for the record, that is ice. Those hieroglyphics he has up there that does spell ice, and he's posted before as he actually has a wrench because he's supposed
ball, man.
Yeah.
Salute.
Yeah, he actually has a wrench over here, but he changed the name and made it look like some hieroglyphics, and I didn't recognize them. But shout out to Ice, appreciate you. Zero back. Shout out to Roast Master, by the way. Zero and everybody. There's a few people hit the Cash App too. I appreciate that. But Zero in the building. He says there's a lot of women that do not care about abortions. It has no psychological effect. That is male protection to think that they have mental damage after. It's assumption logic. There are some that do. I personally know a woman who did have mental psychological issues, and she said every single day she would think about it. When the new school year would start, she would be sitting there, get sad and start crying, be like, I would be getting my 5-year-old ready for school right now.
Absolutely. You know, let me tell you a story. Zero, you're just wrong on this, bro. I'm sorry. Like I said, I know 3 women that have had abortions. One of them is an ex girlfriend. We would talk, right? We would talk off and on. It was the kind of relationship. This was when my children were young too. And like, you ever dealt with somebody that you'll talk to them for like 6 months, then nothing bad happens, but life happens and you two just stop talking and you pick up a year later, like, and when you start talking again, it's like you just talked the day before. Have you ever dealt with anybody like that, Bernard?
Yeah.
Okay. This woman, every year around September, October, she would become depressed. I remember one year in particular, we started talking early September. And so we talk a couple of times a week or whatever. And towards the closer we got to October, she just became depressed. And I forgot that this happened to her every year around the time her son was supposed to be born. This was about 10 years ago. And these were her words. I was like, what's wrong with you? She said, nothing. I was like, no, I mean, it's obvious something's wrong with you. What's wrong? She said, today, she said, next week would have been Darion's 17th birthday. She has been keeping track of this dead child's birthday for the last 17 years. She got her abortion in the senior year of high school. It has an effect on every woman. And any woman that abortion doesn't have an effect on is not a woman. She's not. The most profound thing a woman can do in her entire life is give birth to another human being. How is that not going to have some lasting psychological effect on her to kill the child? And speaking to the fact that these women don't care, this speaks to how callous and how separated from their nature as a woman they are. Any woman that doesn't care about abortion, dog, God help them. God help them. What chance does a man have? What hope do you have to be treated properly by a woman who will kill her own child out of convenience? All these deaths are out of convenience. Nothing more. That's it.
Kenneth Williams in the building.
I didn't want to turn it into an issue of abortion. This is about problems in the manosphere. So
yeah, I know you touched on abortion, and then somebody sent like 4 super chats about it, saying stop the rhetoric. I think he sent another one too, so I gotta want to try to work my way down to that. Kenneth Williams in the building. He said they made Kermit Gosnell a millionaire.
Famous Philadelphia abortionist. Performing late-term abortions on children 32 weeks old. Yeah. A black man, nonetheless, in Philadelphia, killed hundreds of viable children outside of their womb, outside of the womb of the mother. Yeah.
See, they had a bad joke. Okay. Shout out to the brother who left that last super chat. And Ty City in the building says I'm more concerned about gun rights. Fuck that abortion heat. Huh. Okay.
Well, then don't listen. Leave.
Yeah. Quit trying to change the subject, Ty City. Not just playing.
You have to listen to what I have to say.
Ty City, cool. Don't pay him. Don't pay him no mind. Sometimes he cool people. He just.
No, I'm not attacking him.
I know.
If you don't like the subject matter, I'm not telling you to leave Bernard's platform. I shouldn't be telling anyone to leave Bernard's platform, but don't come here when I'm here. That's all.
Ace in Spades says no. It's seeing if he believes the BS coming out of his mouth, and if he's consistent. And he's not, by the way. He says it's murder on a general level, except rape.
I said it's the killing of a child, you involuntary idiot. That's what you are. There are incels, involuntary celibates. You're an involuntary idiot, ace of whatever. Okay? Oh, God, these niggas are disgusting.
Osama Abdu says, LilBigNate, you cam up on your channel. He's asking will you be camming up on your channel.
As soon as the money I make from YouTube equal or exceeds the money I make from my job, then I won't worry about it. Absolutely. Hopefully by the end of the year. Absolutely.
All right. Let's see. Oh, and he wants your Cash App link.
You know, it's crazy. Shout out to my man Abdu. He asked me for my Cash App like a month after I started getting on platforms.
Yeah.
And I told him, I told you then, Abdu, I said, bro, I can't give you my Cash App now. I don't want men giving me money until I can give them something substantial. And that'll be done when my channel launches. As a matter of fact, I have a unique way of viewing money and platforms, and I'm going to explain all that on my first live stream. I'll touch base on it next Tuesday when I'm here to announce the show.
Okay.
But yeah, I've got a different way of looking at how money works into a platform, and I'll be explaining that to you. Appreciate the offer, Absu.
All right, Zero back in the building. Another super chat. He says, hence the word lots. I did not say all. Comprehension again. To assume that all women have damage after abortion is wrong. I don't know if LilBigNate was saying all. Well, I think you threw out the caveat that if they don't have no damage afterwards, then something is wrong with them. We shouldn't even view them as women, and they should just be left to die alone,
destroy themselves. Absolutely.
Yeah. A lot of them don't care.
Zero, if you don't understand the effect of abortion on a woman, sir, I'm sorry. I know this from personal experience. I know it from the information I've read. It has a significant effect. Bernard spoke to the effect it has. What you would be talking about are the anomalies, not the.
Yeah. Well, see, I don't know. Okay, put it like this. I know of some women who use them as if it's just some very effective birth control. There's some women that use them like that. Then there's some women that did it one time and just felt miserable afterwards. So I don't know what percentage is which. I don't.
Like with any evil doing, Bernard, the more you do it, the less effect it has on you. So yeah, 3, 4, 5 abortions in, she'll have a callus built over her heart and her mind that will protect her from any type of logical thinking when it comes to this issue. So yeah, that makes sense.
Okay, Chris Brooks. I'm about to put the link in the chat. We're gonna keep it respectful, fellas. We're gonna keep it respectful. And well, I gotta step away for 5 minutes. So what after let me get these super chats real quick. Chris Brooks in the building. He said the Manosphere is scared to cross over to mainstream Kevin Samuels effect. What happens now when you have to go up against Steve Harvey, Tyler Perry, Oprah? I don't know what you mean. I mean, I think Kevin Samuels is more than prepared to go up against them. I think he will cook them in any discussion.
I don't think they want any parts of him.
Exactly. They running from him. He ain't running from them.
No.
So Ace and Spades in the building. He says how it got there. Well, actually, LilBigNate, I got to step away for 5 minutes. I'm gonna let you lead that one, and you can just riff on whatever you want to riff on. And then when I come back, I'm gonna drop the link in the chat, and we gonna get it going. So go ahead, LilBigNate. You got
I got
it.
another hour. So I can get
okay. Yep. Cool. Go ahead. You got it.
I said it's the taking of a life in the case of rape. I said that several times. Rewind it and go listen to it. You know, Zero talked about comprehension. I comprehend just fine, sir. But this Ace of Spades guy may need some assistance in comprehending the English language. I said repeatedly, it is the death of a child, even in the case of rape, but ultimately it is a case of responsibility. Everything with me boils down to accountability and responsibility in the hands of the individual. If a woman is raped, she is not responsible for that, and she should not have to carry to term a child for her rapist. But if she chooses to do that, and I actually have read several stories of women who have done that and gone on to have great lives with the children. But ultimately, it is about whether the act was voluntary or involuntary, okay? Now, there's a movie, and I am shocked Hollywood produced this movie. The movie is called Room. ROOM. It's a movie about a man who kidnaps a woman, right? He built a utility shed in his backyard and he secured it. And he put that woman in the utility shed and she lived there for 7 years. It's based on a true story. And the second year in to her abduction, she became pregnant. The man gave the woman the option. We can either, I've learned how to do the abortion. We can abort the child or you can have it. The child can keep you company here. The woman opted to have the child, okay? And it was the child, I hate to spoil the movie for you, but it was the child that ultimately got him and his mother out of the room. The reason the movie is called The Room is because that's all that little boy had ever known for the first 5 years of his life. That 6x8 room, utility shed. And the movie speaks to the benefit that can come from a woman giving birth to a child that was had through rape. But my position is, if the woman didn't voluntarily choose to lay down with the man, then it's a non-issue for me. The woman should be allowed to take the child's life if she chooses. It's up to her. But ultimately, the most important thing is that the man that did it be put to death. That's what I'm about, okay? So get out of your feelings. I am very deliberate, very intended on the words that I use. I've thought these issues through ad nauseum, okay? And feel free to click the StreamYard link and come up here, or when you hear me discuss these issues on the LilBigNate show, to come up there and address me then. But you might want to be respectful when you do. I'm not the guy you want to get into a exchange of insults with. I'm telling you. Disagree with me all day long. Nate, you're full of shit. Nate, you're wrong. Nate, I disagree. And I will instruct the brothers with wrenches in my chat. You let these brothers rock. You let people have their voice. I've had my voice stifled on a couple of different platforms. I've had my right to speak my mind, even though I don't insult individuals. I'll insult groups of people, sure, but I don't attack individuals in chats, and I don't do it on platforms. And I've had my right, just stating facts in the chat, taken away from me. And I don't appreciate that. So I'm not going to do that to the brothers in my chat, even when they disagree. You are free to disagree. But be prepared to defend what you believe. Okay? I'm going to require a little bit more of you than just to run your mouth in a chat. Come on up and state your position. Be able to defend what you believe. But I really would like to get back to problems in the manosphere, really. You know, the reason why I'm here, I would greatly appreciate doing that. And I look forward to continuing that conversation when my man comes back. Please get the likes up, folks. I'm going to have a couple of really horrible songs I'll be playing when you do not follow my directions on getting the likes. You can dislike too. I'm perfectly fine with that. I understand some of you are going to do that, and that is absolutely fine. You do not have to like this content. You do not have to like me, but you will respect my right to speak my mind, okay? I don't expect you to come up on a platform and scream at me that I'm a motherfucker 15 times, like someone who will go unmentioned has. And it's weird. He not only did that, if you go back and listen to the program that happened on, he not only got up and because I'm a conservative called me a motherfucker 15 times. He came up here when I asked him, I said, why are you doing that? Because I'm a conservative? He said, yeah, get out, get out, get out. He screamed at the top of his lungs for me to get out of the manosphere. I'll be addressing this gentleman on my platform. I can't wait. I cannot wait. We got some super chats. I can't put them up on there, but Zero had one. Personal experience has no bearing on clinical studies. Psychological impact of abortion, methodological and outcome summary of empirical research between 1966 and 1988. The study is beyond a paywall. Okay, sure. I'll be happy to look at that study. And you have a scientific study that would suggest that the most profound and intimate action that a woman could ever do in her life has no or very little psychological effect. So when women suffer tremendously due to not an abortion, but to a stillbirth or to losing the baby, I know women who have suffered for months after that. You're suggesting that there's no psychological bearing on abortion? Zero, let it go, sir. Let it go. There's no, I'll read your study, but I know the nature of male and female. I know the nature of women. And I'm sorry, sir, for you to suggest, and if I'm correct in suggesting this, then correct me. But to suggest that there's not a profound psychological effect on women after abortion, I'm just going to disagree with you as far as the day is long. You could produce 100 fucking studies. I don't care. I know from personal experience the effect that abortion has on women. And you can sit there and say that it doesn't all you want. You can go to your platform and make content saying that it doesn't. We're just going to disagree, sir. And that's the end of it. But say what you will. Oh. Well, you know, I know many of them don't care. I'm not trying to get them to care. I'm trying to keep the women who have yet to destroy themselves from engaging in behaviors that will render them useless to us. And if any man has a problem with that, well, you're just going to have a problem with it. You speak from your rostrum and say what you like to. I'll speak from mine and say what I choose to. And I can back up damn near 99.9% of what I say. I might fly off the handle and shoot from the hip on a couple of things. But the vast majority of what I say, I appreciate that, builder of truth. Thank you, sir.
All right.
thank you,
I'm
champ.
back. I'm back. And yeah.
Appreciate it.
All right. Here we go. Yeah, Builder of Truth. Thank you for that super chat. I appreciate that. I think you addressed the other super chats a little bit, Nate, but salute. He says, salute to the guests. I'll be subbing. Definitely.
Thank you.
Definitely want to do that. And none of the people that gave you harsh disagreement and pushback in the chat on any other issues have taken the link. But individuals that we know and love have taken the link. And oh shit, what happened to Sir Tice? Sir Tice was down there.
I'm a man, Sir Tice.
Yeah, Sir Tice was in there right when I clicked it. He disappeared. But we got Pablo, and SKC in the building. Oh, and actually, I see there Sir Tice just came back. Shout out to Sir Tice in the building. And well, before we even get formally going on the guest, we're going to go with Zero super chat. He says, this is the issue with the Manosphere. Data matters when it's convenient for your talking points. When it's against all the sudden clinical data doesn't matter. You people are all over the place.
No, can I address that real quick?
Yes.
Zero. There is oh my God, I think his name is Dinkelman. He's a professor at the University of Texas, and he produces information on why children having sex with adults, he speaks to the quote unquote benefits of it. The benefits. He promotes the decriminalization of pedo. Okay. He will be able to bring to you studies, academic research pointing to the fact that there is a quote unquote benefit to children having sex with adults. He's been attacked on the campus, the University of Texas campus. He's somewhat of a pariah on there now. The gentleman has his perspective, and he can produce academic research to support it. Well, should we take that into account? To suggest that abortion does, I can't argue stuff that should be obvious. I just can't. If you think a woman killing, let me say this and then I'm done with this abortion, Sean. I'm done with it for the day. Okay? I'll say this and then I'm done. Now, when I was young, I used to watch Little House on the Prairie. Charles Ingalls, like the most upstanding man in the history of men, it seems like. I remember Charles and the men of the town went to Mankato. Do you remember they used to go to Mankato in Minnesota to pick up supplies and stuff? Well, Miss Ingalls was at home with the children, and one of her neighbors was pregnant, right? The neighbor's child ran the 2 or 3 miles to the Ingalls' house, and Miss Ingalls and the girls went to help the woman who had had an early pregnancy. It was a breached birth. The woman in the bed, as Miss Ingalls was helping her, was screaming, "Save my baby, save my baby." Meaning, I'm prepared to die to bring this child to existence. That used to be the attitude of women. Child mortality was a huge problem, late 1800s, early 1900s. Modern medicine has made that largely a thing of the past. But the attitude of a woman to be prepared to give her life for her child is something that's been a constant, a part of the maternal instinct. And what we need to do is ask ourselves why that's been removed from these modern women. Instead of just saying, oh, well, it's no big deal. What you talk about this abortion shit for? Yeah. If that's your attitude, this really isn't the place for you.
Tricky Trini says, and I can't click on it because it disappeared. Well, first I saw you post in the chat something along the lines of, so you don't read my super chats now? Like, there's no reason to get all offended and emotional about it. It's a lot of them. Sometimes I miss them. And I think that was when I stepped away for a second, possibly. But either way it go, don't get all you give your boxes in a bunch about that, man. And sometimes I miss them. I try to catch them all. But anyway, in the super chat,
that have given their hard-earned money, man. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Even if you disagree, thank you. I genuinely appreciate it, man.
He says, Zero, that study sounds weak already based on the timeline and the sample size. How many women would admit to having an abortion in the first place? Yeah, I don't know about that. Let me see if it's any. Oh, see, Fantastic sent one. Fantastic, my man, and I ain't missing his on purpose. But he said YouTube 101, hide your playlist, little big name.
Hide your playlist. What does he mean?
I think on your channel you got a playlist or something. Maybe you got you got a bunch of Justin Bieber songs on there.
Oh no, sir! You'll see nothing like that. You'll see old school R&B. You'll see '90s and late '80s hip hop.
You got a lot of Babyface songs on there.
Nah, sir. I salute the Babyface, but nah. I mean, dude.
But,
I want to make this point real quick to the black women that are listening, because I'm going to do a whole show on this. I've been writing down show ideas and stuff. I'm glad you brought that up. I want you to think about the type, when we talk about how black women have changed in the last 60 years, think about the music that black women inspired in black men. The most beautiful, melodic music, considered the greatest music by people throughout the planet. The music that primarily black American men made. And much of that music was inspired by relationships with those black women of the past. I want you to think about that. I Choose You, the songs, Teddy Pendergrass. I do, even though Luther was gay, but even Luther Vandross. And think about the music black women inspired from black men, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s. 80s, even the 90s, Guy and Keith Sweat. And now R&B is a thing of the past. I can't even name 5 R&B artists for you today. Because I'll be honest with you, ladies, your behavior doesn't inspire those types of songs. But I want you to think about that. The whole world admires black men's ability to make music. And
that's a big old fact. That's a big old fact, Big Nate. And I'll give you
times, brother. It was black women that were the inspiration for that incredible fucking music. Nigga, some of this music will bring a nigga to tears. Oh my God, nigga, the music from the 60s, the Shy Lights, man. Don't even get me started on this, because I got to do a whole show about it. I'm sorry.
All right. We got to get to the members of the panel. But EV now in the building, he says, how can psychological effects be properly quantified? I suspect those studies are in favor of abortion. Interesting. We're gonna move right past that. But thanks for the super chat, EV. Now we're gonna move right back. We got to get to the members of the panel. The Sneak 2008 says black women get abortions or have baby if it benefits her. Abortion to stay on carousel career, birth the baby, use as a pawn to get resources from the man / government, regrets only because they couldn't capitalize. Wow. Thank you for the super chat, the Sneak 2008. And also, I believe Falcon Black came through with a super chat. He says a big problem in the manosphere, many men are inexperienced. I kind of disagree with that one to some degree. There's a sector that are inexperienced with women, and I've multiple times on my show, a lot of them have stood up and been counted and raised their hand and said that they were incel or incel-ish, and I've done shows on that. I don't think it's that huge of a problem that men are inexperienced with women. They may not have been full-blown playboys just slaying them like Wilt Chamberlain, but I don't think men are just that inexperienced with women. I think a lot of the things that we say in this space came from experience with women. Then there are some people on the sidelines who are scared to get in the game, that look around incel channels, who repeat a lot of stuff that men who do have experience with women have said, and they kind of taint the information and use it as more of a reason for them to stay in a shell and not grow up, in other words. But there's a lot of nuance in that. But I disagree with the whole many men are inexperienced with women. Well, at least when he's referring to men in this space. But I don't know, that's a separate show. Relationships, etc. Too much theoretical lame talking points. There are some theoretical stuff going on. I know what channels you're talking about that just operate pure in theory. those are the ones that be talking about those channels that be measuring the space between a man's eyes to figure out how desirable he is to women. And, like it's weird. Like it's channels that do weird stuff, and those are barely black channels. But there's that. So without further ado, let's get to the panel. My man Pablo in the building. What's going on? What you got?
What's up? What's up? So I come to bring LilBigNate his tribute, but I also bring the sword.
Go for it.
So LilBigNate is absolutely correct about the cultural significance of black music. I was in Brazil way back in 2005, in a seaside town called Fortaleza, Brazil, in a cafe. In a beachside bar, and every day, all day, they play R&B hits from the United States of America, Motown, LTD, Barry White, Luther Vandross, Earth, Wind and Fire, the Ohio Players, Motown, all of that stuff, the Commodores. They played it all day, every day.
Absolutely.
And and they loved it. So there's that. But some time ago, back during the election season, LilBigNate made the statement that if you're a black man and you don't support Donald Trump,
that's a lie. That's a lie.
I don't let him make the statement. Let him make the statement before you disagree.
I know.
I'm glad. I almost don't want you to even pull this back out because
no, you don't want you to pull it back out.
No, it's kind of. Hold on, wait, time out.
Apologize.
Time out. No, what I was saying, because it's borderline not the topic, but you did make a statement, and so go ahead and flesh it out. And then I'm glad that LilBigNate is here to either clear up or confirm that he said or didn't say that. So go ahead, Pablo. You got the floor. You got the mic. Go ahead.
I'm not gonna quote you because I don't remember exactly what you said, but the gist of what you said was this.
Mm-hmm.
If you are a black man and you don't support or vote for Donald Trump, you hate black men. That is basically.
Pablo, I gotta disagree, bro.
I'll give you a chance to clarify. Go ahead and clarify.
Bro, I would never say anything like that, especially for a single individual politician. What I have said is if you are a black man and you vote Democrat, you are little more than a black woman with a penis. I've said that on a few platforms. Whether or not you decide to support Donald Trump is up to you. I didn't support Donald Trump in 2016. I wrote the name Rand Paul into a mail-in ballot.
Okay.
You vote whoever you vote for, sir. Just be able to defend what you believe. That's where black men fall short. You know, we have these reflective tendencies just to follow whatever popular culture says do. We don't think through our decisions. I would never tell somebody, if you don't vote for this person, you're this. But if you continuously support an institution and yet get up on panels, and I'm not talking about you, Pablo, but there are black men in this space that get on panels, bitch, moan, complain about black women, thousands of hours of content about the problems with black women, then you vote to support the very institutions that turn these women into the monsters many of them have become? That's contradictory. It's hypocritical. And there are so many black men in this space that don't even see that. You are in a space constantly complaining about BFF, and there is one political party that promotes, subsidizes, and promulgates BFF. That is the Democrat Party, Pablo. That's in my position. Not that you
I stand corrected. And I say that because I am a conservative, and there are other conservatives who did not support Donald Trump, i.e. Mitt Romney, i.e. Michael Steele, i.e. Colin Powell, and others. And so I just and John McCain and so forth. So
Well, the only pushback I would give you, Pablo, I don't think any of those men are actual conservatives. They're Republicans.
and I don't believe that Donald Trump is. But go
That's fine. I've never said he was. I've never said Donald Trump was a conservative, sir. He's a populist.
So let me move on. Let me move on.
Sure.
My other issue, and you opened the abortion thing, so here we go.
We got to come back to it.
You don't have to. So I'm no pro-abortion, pro-lifer type. That's not my bag.
Mhm.
But where it concerns the Black community, one of the things that the pro-Blacks that the pro-Black hoteppers do is they feel that just more Black babies is better, right?
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter how they get here. It doesn't matter under what circumstances. None of that matters. Let's just give us more Black babies. You know, we even had one who came on and said that a baby daddy is equal to a husband.
I heard that. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's crazy.
So my where I'm conflicted is when you made the statement that, you know, all of these children who were killed would have been quote unquote viable children. I disagree. I disagree with that because a lot of these children that we a lot of the problems in the Black community right now stem from children who were not wanted.
It's true. It's true.
That is the catch-22 in the situation.
And
so how are you going to build a community, or who's going to pay for all of these children that now you say have to be born to people who didn't want them or who weren't in a position to care for them?
Okay.
They're not going to change their behavior overnight because and this is why I go back into the cultural thing. People are not going to change their behavior overnight because you change a law. They're going to continue on with most of the shit that they're doing because they're conditioned to do so.
Mm.
Now,
Yeah,
eventually, will it change? Yes.
You're absolutely right, Pablo. And
in the meantime, yeah.
You straight?
Yeah, I was saying in the meantime, yeah. Well, how are you going to handle those who you said, okay, you got to have them? What is going to be there for them, especially from the mouth of a conservative who says we ain't giving you no free shit?
Okay, I'll be happy to answer that. I've said I started coming up on panel 7-8 months ago, and the main thing I would usually talk about is the fact that this is not a policy problem. I've debated guys who scream about policy. I mean, every other word out of the nigga's mouth. The policy. What are the policies? This is not a policy problem. There are no legislative initiatives that are going to solve Black America's problems. Black America's problems are cultural and behavioral. And the process of changing that starts with spaces like this. Men having the courage to speak out against all this errant behavior so many Black women are engaged in. The way you solve this problem is we introduce shame, the word shame and the idea of shame back into our lexicon. We get the federal government to stop subsidizing this terrible behavior, stop giving women a place for them to rest their head after they've done something terrible, and they know what they're doing is wrong. But they have an entire media. All of leftist media is there to tell Black women, nothing to see here. You're perfect. You're great. You're the reason we have Biden as a president. All things are wonderful. When you look at Black women's stats, you look at the empirical data on this group of people, there is not a people in more of an abysmal condition than them. It all starts with changing the culture and suffering. Suffering is part of the change process. People spend so much of their time and lives trying to avoid suffering, trying to avoid discomfort, when oftentimes those things are the catalyst for change. When that 300-pound woman gets out of the shower, and she looks at herself in the mirror and she's disgusted and disappointed at her misshapen body, at her lack of access to decent men, it is the disappointment that will act as a catalyst for her to begin the process of losing the weight. There has to be a measure of discomfort. And the sooner we start the process, the sooner we will come out of it. The sooner we have tens of thousands of women with children because abortion was illegal, and now they got to figure out how to feed these children, the sooner the masses of women will say, uh-oh, I guess I can't do that. I guess if I'm going to sleep with this guy on Monday, this guy on Wednesday, this guy on Friday, if I'm going to engage in that behavior, I better be careful because I don't have anyone to lean on when I get pregnant. I can go to some back room, back alley abortionist and end up losing my life in the process, which actually is something that happened with Mr. Kermit Gosnell, the abortionist out of Philadelphia. Or I can finally take responsibility for my actions. Black women's insistence that they don't need men, that Black men are largely inconsequential to them and their lives and the lives of their children, all of this stems from the support they get from the left. All of it. You have the feminists in their ear telling them that they don't need men. You're just as strong as men. Don't let any man control you. And you have the Democrats and the federal government subsidizing all their bad decisions until this stops. And it's going to be 10, 15, 20 years of some very bad times. But we don't ever make it to the other side, Pablo, until the process starts. It's got to start, bro.
Okay, I that's a very reasonable and rationed response. I submit. Mm-hmm.
Salute, bro. Appreciate it.
Shout out. Good job, fellas. I like that, y'all. Worked it all out.
No, there's never no hate, man.
I know.
I don't hate nobody, bro. There's a couple of people I got issues with, but I don't hate nobody.
Right on.
No, we agree on a whole lot more in the macro. You know what I'm saying? Than the little micro disagreements that we.
And
might
even
have.
where we disagree, bro, salute.
Absolutely. We don't have to. That's why this is the grown man hour, my brother.
Exactly, bro. You got every right to disagree with me, man. Salute. I've come to know you from Obsidian's platform. You seem to be a successful man doing your thing, bro. I can't do nothing but celebrate men like you and men like the most of the men in this space. That's why I'm here. You know,
right on. Good stuff.
We got a healthy conversation.
we gotta go to the first. Shout out to Smooth. He said, "Keep that Punani coming. I'd make some great music too." But shout out to him. Let's see. We got SKC, the card carrying coon. His name is titled today, SKC, the idiot. Passing the mic to you. Go ahead, SKC. You got the floor. You got the mic.
Oh man! First of all, LilBigNate, congrats, man. Man. Of course, we got a lot to chat about, but I want to see your channel succeed. I did have a question that I wanted to ask you about politically, because I don't hear a lot of conversation about it. But I'm gonna leave that with my last question on the whole abortion thing really quickly. I think people are going the wrong way. I think that they should step full into it. I mean, I don't think the abortion should be cut off right now. I think they should continue it and actually subsidize it even more. So if they want to have the children or they want to have their abortion or whatnot, they get money for having the abortion. The closer it is to the actual birth, the more money that you get. And that can subsidize welfare for them. And everything has to be out very transparent though. So the more abortions you get throughout your lifetime, the higher your subsidy gets. That way, more people know you and so forth. And you also have to let everybody know that the abortion, we're not just going to waste it. We're going to feed the homeless with it.
Wow. That's brilliant.
So that way it's recycling. All of it works together. Everybody's happy at that point.
All right.
Hey, it works. It's a plan, Bernard. It's a plan.
You can't accuse
It's a
me of not
plan.
having a plan. You
We can
can't.
add that into a policy.
Awesome. Absolutely.
Okay. But another question that I had, I just want to hear your thoughts.
Yes, sir.
And I'm falling back. What are your thoughts on this Cuomo and Letitia James silence about it all?
The sexual harassment issues Cuomo's facing,
And the nursing home stuff. I mean, I just want to hear a different opinion. That's all.
I mean, I'm not going to sit here and just bash Cuomo because he's a Democrat. I mean, COVID was a situation no one was prepared for. Lying to the public, of course, should be politicians should be held accountable. And you hold them accountable by either getting them out of office or voting them out of office. My opinion on Democrats. It's and the Republican establishment is just as bad. You've never heard me sit up here and extol the virtues of Republican establishment politicians. Your Cheneys, your Boltons, warmongers. You'll never hear that from me. Being a conservative doesn't necessarily mean you're a Republican. Being a conservative means that there's a specific ideology that governs your life. And it just so happens that your beliefs will more coincide with the Republican Party 99% of the time. But the Republicans are nothing to write home about, this current crop of them. And but great question, SKC. We'll talk tonight when I call you about that.
Oh, y'all have at it, bro.
Appreciate it, man.
All right. We got Fatal Dose in the building. What's going on? Fatal Dose, are you there? Mic check 1, 2.
Can you fellas hear me? What's going on?
Yeah, we got you now. We got you now.
Hey, how's it going, man?
Going great.
Nah, I gotta say, I disagree with. I know LilBigNate want to get off the abortion thing, but I gotta say, I really disagree with what that study zero pulled out earlier, right? Because I don't hang out with that many women, right? But I have met 3 of them who actually told me that they contemplated suicide after the abortions.
Wow. Damn.
Yeah. So, to say that it has no impact, and those are the ones that went to the extreme. I've met others that says that they were depressed and had plenty of other psychological issues afterwards. So it definitely impacts them. And I'm one that's of the mind that even under the circumstances of rape and molestation, the child isn't the one that needs killing. Right?
There's a lot in the conservative movement that are saying, look, you got to give birth to the child, and we disagree. And we can disagree without being disagreeable, without hating each other. People have legitimate arguments on both sides of the aisle. Absolutely.
Right. And I'm not saying the woman should be forced to take care of the child once the child is born, but the child isn't who we should be looking at to exterminate for the act, right? Because even some of you will like this, even the Bible calls rape, the idea of rape, that it's equivalent to a man rising up against his neighbor and murdering him. Because it has a law that says if you rape, you should be stoned to death. So
penalty, absolutely, man.
Yeah. Absolutely. So I'm of the mind where I believe that. But the part of the issue you have with a lot of the brothers that are supporting this and is that they like the idea of being irresponsible with their seed, and then the child pays the price.
Having an easy out. Absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely.
I've met a lot of brothers who, when it comes down to it, they'll put up great arguments. What is seemingly great argument, but when you get down to it, it's all about them having access without the responsibility. So they want to be able to drop their seed anywhere, any place they want, and then throw a couple of $100s to get rid of the child, and the child suffer.
Well, see, here's my thing with that, and I understand completely where you're coming from, because there's a sensible discussion like the one that we're having here, the one that LilBigNate likes to have, where responsible men are having a sensible discussion about abortion. Then what will tend to happen is it'll get sprinkled in by some dudes who just want to be reckless with their seed, and they don't give a damn if the laws happen to be in their favor. They good with it. Yeah, I mean, I don't have too many dudes like that on my panel. There's been some that have been on my panel when they slipped in some shit like that, and then you don't see them around here. They gradually, over time, they'll gradually get weeded out of my audience. So this ain't the space for those guys. So that's where I'm at with it. If you just own some, if you just a reckless serial impregnator trying to hide behind good conservative arguments to try to justify your fucked up lifestyle, then no, I can't rock with you. I can't. So I understand you want to call out those guys, but if we're talking about this space, my channel, and the people in the sphere that I deal with, this ain't it. But I do understand where you're coming from. They lurking out there, and they use good arguments, sensible things that LilBigNate is saying, sensible things that you're saying, or Pablo, or whatever. They use those things as cover to just engage in the same bullshit that the women ultimately engage in. So I do understand where you're coming from.
Yeah, and I'm not necessarily saying
like platinum defeat. Oh shit. No, go ahead.
Now, I wasn't necessarily saying anyone that comes on the panel, because I run into them in real life as well. So they're out there. I've heard them on YouTube, and I've had to deal with them in real life too. So but a lot of it comes from even what some of what LilBigNate was saying earlier, is that we need to become more responsible, right? Do you think about a lot of brothers who are supporting policies that are detrimental to the Black community because they get a benefit out of it? As long as the fuckery continues, they benefit from it. So they don't mind voting for a senile former vice president, right? Because what they benefit from is the craziness that grips our community. So, but anyway, that's what I had to say.
Right on. Good stuff. We got a super chat from number 16 in the building with a super chat, and Zero typed something that I want to read after I get through with this super chat. Number 16 in the building says, talking about politics without going over policy is, I think he means insane. It is easy to talk about social issues, but hard to talk about creating and supporting policies that would help your causes. What are your thoughts on that one, LilBigNate?
Policies are not going to, there are no policy initiatives that are going to change the trajectory of Black America. We're headed towards the demise of the nuclear Black family, period. 26% of Black women are married, 32 to 33% of Black men are married, and it's climbing because they're not marrying Black women. And nobody's marrying Black women, so their marriage rate remains stagnant. Now, if you have any interest in trying to salvage the remnants of Black America that are left, we need to have conversations about culture and behavior. We've been having political discussions for the last 60 years. It's been all about the politics and our commitment to the Luciferian left and the Democrats and all the wonderful things that they do for us. And look at us. Do you really expect me to believe that you don't see the correlation between Black women voting 90 to 95% Democrat and them being the most obese women in the country, if not the world? Them voting 90, 95% Democrat and being the least married woman, the highest rate of debt, both consumer and collegiate, having the highest disease rate, highest rate of abortion, highest rate of single motherhood. You don't see a correlation between those two things?
There is some policy behind.
You don't see anything.
There is some policy behind that.
Let him. Were you done, LilBigNate?
policy is important, but it takes a backseat to addressing these cultural and behavioral problems that exist in Black America. I'm sorry. What policy are you going to pass to make Black women not feel it's okay to be 300 pounds? Tell me. Tell me what policy you're going to pass. What policy are you going to pass to make Black women believe that fathers are essential to the raising and cultivating our children? Tell me the policy you're going to enact. You have to affect the culture and the behavior of Black America. That's what we have to do. You niggas don't like that. You'd rather mire yourself in the minutia of a bunch of political fucking jargon. But that's not going to get us anywhere. We've been doing that for 60 years, talking about policies. And look at us. We're damn near ruined in reference to the nuclear Black family. It's almost over. I'm sorry. I have a son and a daughter that is out here. They're mingling and trying to interact with all these other Black children that have been raised damn near ruined. And I'm sick of it. I'm sick of the fact that my daughter can't make friends with young girls that are like her, that actually have some reverence for their body, actually are very particular about who they let anywhere around them. And the reason she can't find friends like that, and the reason my son has difficulty finding girls he can date, and my son, look, I'm going to introduce you to my boy. This boy is a legit alpha male, fucking damn near professional mixed martial artist. Everywhere he goes, the fucking girls are all over him, but he can't find one that's halfway decent to date. My son has got so many stories of a Black girl he met at the mall, a Black girl he met at his job. And a couple of weeks later, I'm saying, oh, son, what's up with such and such? Whatever happened with that? You know what my son tells me? He says, Dad, there wasn't nothing I can do with her. Because when he was 14, I told him, when you see these behaviors coming from a woman, there's nothing you can do with her. You leave her alone. Let her go on about her business. Inappropriate behavior. It was Vine and Instagram. They were the social medias at the time when he was 14. You go to Vine, these girls are twerking, they're cursing, just all this terrible fucking behavior. Black America's problems are behavioral and cultural. I'm sorry, gentlemen. You want to talk about voting rights acts and anti-lynching bill? Are you fucking kidding me? Are you serious? Good luck with solving whatever problems you're looking to solve with that bullshit. Best of luck to you.
I'm with you on that, Big Nate.
The RXO in the building says, greetings, Bernard, and the panel, LilBigNate. We often hear the term Black culture. Do you believe Black women identify poor behavior and chaos as Black culture and hold on to it due to fear of change? Go ahead and answer that one, LilBigNate, then we're going to finally go to Sir Tice.
Yeah, please, let's get these other brothers. And often hear the term Black culture. Do you believe that? Yeah, unfortunately, the RX, man, Black culture is synonymous with dysfunction. It just is. There are some beautiful aspects of Black culture. We make beautiful music. We play sports beautifully. There are things we do magnificently. Actors, actresses, movies and things that we create. There are beautiful aspects of Black culture, but we keep ignoring, or we're afraid to deal with the aspects of Black culture that are bringing about our ruin. This goes to the abortion issue. This goes to the single motherhood issue. It's funny how a lot of you Black men are perfectly fine talking about single motherhood, but you have a problem talking about abortion, which is an issue that is just as detrimental to these women. It ruins them. It ruins them. I'm sorry. Not every single solitary woman that engages in it is ruined, but and I hate to bring it back to this issue, but there's a very odd thread of commonality between the three women that I know that have had abortions. One is married, one's divorced, one's never been married. None of them have children. None of them. And I believe it's the guilt that they feel that prevents them from actually having children, especially the two that were married or are married. So we have to address these cultural issues. If it's too much, if it hits too close to home, don't listen. There are literally, I believe, 1 billion platforms on YouTube you could be listening to. You could go watch some young South Korean man make his breakfast udon noodles. You could go watch some young mother in the Ukraine walk through the forest with her 4-year-old daughter. You could watch some elderly man in Ecuador pick his coffee beans. But if you're going to be here, especially if you're going to be listening to me, these cultural issues are going to be discussed. And if you don't like it, leave.
All right. Ray Clemens says, "Get him, son. Salute Bernard and Lil Big Nate." Okay, if something is going on here, I of the Thriver says Nate has contradicted himself throughout the show. I would like for you to
Point to one time I've contradicted myself.
I would like for you to explain why. I think number 16 might be on that same path. He says it's getting rid of welfare, not a policy. It's getting rid of abortions, not a policy. See, now that okay, I'll let you go in on that. But what they're doing, what they're doing is they're talking about how people come at people who are culture warriors, and I say it's nothing wrong with the culture warrior, because if a culture is fucked up, somebody needs to talk about how fucked up it is and what cultural changes would make it better. The policies won't change people's minds, but the policies are important. But the culture aspect of it still needs to be discussed. You still need to change the hearts and minds of people. But the mere fact that they're saying that the mere fact that you seem to care more about the culture than what you do to policies, they're trying to say, abortion is a policy. Getting rid of welfare is a policy.
No, can I piggyback off that, Bernie?
That's just trying to play a game, in my opinion.
Real quick.
Hold on. Is leveling the legal playing field for men not a policy? All you seem to have to offer is talk, but talk is cheap. That's the more that's the just shut up argument. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's all it is. And plus, when black people talk about policy, it's never the removal of policy. You're full of shit if that's what you're saying. It's always the implementation of more policy, more regulation, more fucking red tape and bullshit. Because that's what black people love. Black people literally think the federal government is going to save them from themselves. And I'm saying that's not the case. What's going to save us is changing the way we think and the way we act. That's what's going to save us.
There, I said it in the building. Thanks for the super chat. He says, "Can you dig it? Black men are pushing to change culture, and some black women are listening. The breakdown recently put on a pick me panel. They can't exactly put on a pick me panel if they on it. I don't get that. But shout out to you. Appreciate the super chat. Appreciate that. All right, Sir Tice, what did you exactly want to go ahead. Take it from wherever you want to, man.
Yeah, no problem. Good morning to the panel. Good morning to the chat. What up, Pop, Ty City, Big Nate? Nate, couple things here. You're right, Zero, and I think it was Ty City also right. If you can accept that there are some women that are, that have regret for abortions and things, if you can also accept that we know that men kill for sport and are very apathetic and don't give a fuck, then you should be also willing to accept that some don't give a fuck about aborting their kids. So that's just my comment there. There was a comment in the chat. I believe it was what was her name? Jane LaRue, or pardon me if I forgot your name. Jane LaRue. Jada LaRue. Jada LaRue. Thanks, thanks, Bernie. Thanks, Bernie. And the brother Truth. And it was basically when you had said that abortion is murder, and they're like, how is it murder? It's a fetus. Well, that's very easy to find or whatever. So don't get mad at me, get mad at law. There's something called the Unborn Victims of Violence Act. So bottom line, if a pregnant woman gets killed and she loses the baby, your ass will be charged with murder. So let's not get into this whole it's not murder. My last point on that. So that's case closed there. Now, my last point was actually based on the title of the show. I don't think there's anything wrong with the Manosphere, okay? I mean, of course you're going to have differences of opinion. CPAC, the conservative convention, had people that weren't Republicans that attended there that had some issues with rhinos, Republicans in name only. I got a friend who's running for office in Georgia as a Democrat. And I'm like, dude, you're running as a Democrat? He was like, dude, this is where the money is or whatever. That's why, you know, he said that's all these parties is getting behind the money. So if these big machines can accept that there's going to be differences of opinion, I don't understand why we do here that everybody got to be on board. And Ty City, you one of the main ones, salute to you, but you one of the main ones that do what I'm about to describe. I think most guys in the manosphere are normal. That's it. But you'll have a small faction of guys, whether they incels or whatever, and that whole label will be applied to y'all in this space, or y'all be on some goofy shit when it be just a couple bad actors that's doing that, you know. And I get it, it makes good content, but you can't apply those generalizations to everybody, you know. One last point, just to give a perfect example, there's one faction. Hold on, Ty, let me finish. You'll get your time to talk. So you got like one faction. We'll just, as an example, you got, let's say, the game faction. Okay. So if you disagree with any of those guys on their points, you don't get no pussy, or you an incel, you know, when no, you could just be, man, like, dude, I don't need your little tactics or whatever to do what I need to. So that's what I'm saying. But go ahead, Ty, if you feel like I'm wrong when I'm saying about how you take little things and apply it to the whole global manosphere aspect of it.
Right. So I don't know where you get that from. I definitely say names and who I'm talking about. I run the clips and I speak to people directly.
All right. I mean, no, that's a fair point, Tassie. I want to hear what you came up for. Fair point in response to what he said.
Fair. I'm speaking more some of your chats, some of your chats that I've seen in the past. But all right, that's fine. All right.
All right. I don't want to be in. Don't interrupt me, dog.
Oh no, you got it.
First of all, right, I want to say this. This just, you know what I'm saying, me getting on my shit again. I just want to do my monthly reminder since the beginning of the month that women do not care. Like, I want to know how you're going to make women care. Like, what's your plan to make them care?
You talking to me?
I'm talking to Big Nate, yeah.
Sure. Okay. I don't plan to make them care. I plan to help convince the Black women who have yet to destroy themselves of the men that they should be listening to. So some of them can be salvaged, and some of these brothers who are still interested in dealing with ADOS men can find women, marry them, create functional families and households. I'm not trying to save Black women. I'm trying to. I'm trying.
Do you think these women are oblivious to what's going on and around them?
I think they're becoming more and more familiar with just how ruinous their ideology is, who they listen to, the political allegiances they have, and the damage and the detriment that it has them in. Black women are waking up and saying, oh my God, all of my aunts are fat and alone. My mother's fat and alone. All of my coworkers, all of my compatriots, all my friends. I don't want this existence for me. And there are women here, women there. You want to put a percentage on it? I probably put it anywhere between 20 and 30% of Black women who actually want no parts of what Black American female culture has come to represent. And they're looking for people to listen to. They're looking for people to help take the place of all the self-destructive and counterintuitive ideas that have been put in their head by popular media and the left. They're looking for somebody.
So these women are on a mission to correct the problems.
No, these women are on a mission to save themselves from the same fate of their mothers, their aunts, and their friends. There are some women. I know them personally. There are women. Most of these audiences that, for instance, Kevin Samuels, there's a percentage of those women who are genuinely looking for information, and there's a percentage of them that are there to hate listen. How could you?
Right. So the problem is they get the information, they learn the information, and they still don't care.
Every single one of them, sir, Ty City. Every single one of them.
I mean, what are we? Wait. What are we talking about? 0.0001%.
I don't think
the women who actually like.
I don't think it's that small. We just disagree. I don't think it's that small a group of women. My daughter, her best friend is 19. She got married last year because she's a lot like my daughter. She has another friend who just got engaged. She's 19. There are some Black women who want no parts of this shit. They see the carnage that is Black female America, and they don't want any parts of it. That's why they're coming to spaces like this, Dye City. If you want to write 100% of the women off, that's your right. I'm not going to argue with you. I don't think 100% of them.
No. Wait a minute. I put it across the board. I don't just stop at Black women. I keep going. I see
American women are horrible.
Wait. So I see more women, right, being inside the goddamn abortion clinic than outside the abortion clinic, goddamn protesting and shit. Whenever it comes down to it, because see, when y'all lay this scenario out of, oh, this woman got an abortion and she felt bad about it and all this shit, but see, the part that never gets told is a lot of these women have abortions from men who don't even know that their seed has been aborted. Now, let's say you're in a situation where you want the baby, but she doesn't want the baby. How do you stop her from aborting your seed?
You can't.
Okay, so that is where and that is where women will never, ever try to be on the side of men to undo that shit. It's not going to happen.
The problem is you're thinking in this collective sense that you're going to change all women. I know that that's not going to happen.
Even the women who know better aren't coming together to fucking change the shit.
Ty City, this movement of Black men having a voice, it's in its infancy. It's just starting off.
I understand that.
Ty City, you can either write them off or you can try to make appeals to the ones that want to listen, the ones that want a household, the ones that want to be women, want to be up under the leadership of proper men. That's who my appeal is going to be to, the women that want that. The women that don't, I don't care about them. You're getting this all mixed up.
Those are the women having the abortions that you don't care about.
And they'll destroy themselves, and that'll be the end of it. And we'll be left with new Black America. We'll be left with Black America that is productive, functional, and believes in traditional family values. Great. That's what I'm trying to accomplish.
Okay, so these women are not suffering how a lot of you guys are saying they suffering.
Okay, they are.
They're just not.
Even if they don't know that they're suffering now, there is going to come a point when they're 50 years old, they've got osteoporosis, they're trying to drag their groceries up those 3 flights of stairs to their 300 square foot government subsidized coffin apartment.
But they'll deal with that then. They look at it, Nate, like they'll deal with that then. They don't care.
Even then, they like, that's just how their life turned out to them. That's not like, man.
Why do you, Ty City, answer me this. Why do you care so much about what they think? To hell
I don't
with
give
them.
a fuck. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Them. To hell
that's what I'm trying to tell you.
Bro, I'm not trying to change those women. I'm not. You said you was trying to save women from themselves. That's what you said. No, I did not. I said I'm
trying to save these women from them making a bad decision. That's what you said.
I am trying to give a counterpoint to the information these women are getting that's going to lead them.
They know what the counterpoints are. They know right from wrong.
Ty City, why are you so worried about what comes out of my mouth? Tell me that.
Oh, here we go. No. I'm not trying to personalize it to you.
Why are you so worried about what comes out of my mouth?
Here we go. Because you trying to act like you on this mission to save women from themselves.
I'm on a mission
is goofy.
To try and change Black culture. That's what I'm on a mission to do. If you don't like it, that's your business. I want the women who want to actually have families, to have an opportunity to be married, have children, raise them properly. I want them to have a clear path towards that success. And I'm talking about the women that haven't destroyed themselves. And whether you want to admit it or not, there are some women that haven't destroyed themselves.
All right. So the women who haven't destroyed themselves, why haven't they destroyed themselves?
Because they look around and they say, you know what? I'm not buying into this culture. I'm not buying into this popular culture bullshit. I'm not buying into this.
So they don't need to be saved then, right?
I never said I was saving them. I'm giving them a counter to the information they're getting from mainstream media and popular culture. Because following mainstream media and popular culture is going to destroy them. Excuse me for not wanting to see more black people ruined.
Right. Now I'm a self-hater or some shit.
I never said you were a self-hater. I said I don't want to see black people continue to ruin themselves. So I'm going to speak out. And if whoever doesn't fucking like it, too fucking bad.
Okay, so you are speaking to the women that are not doing the right thing. Then you're not speaking to the women that are doing the right thing.
It's up to them if they change. If they want to listen to a Kevin Samuels, they want to listen to LilBigNate, give them some advice, that's up to them. Or if they want to stay on the course that they are on, which is surely to get them into ruin, they can stay on that too. But we have a group of women, primarily young women, that see the death and the carnage around them, and they don't want any parts of it. And they're looking for somebody to give them some advice. That's why Kevin Samuels' goddamn program is so popular. Tons of young women call in, 20, 22, 25. These women haven't destroyed themselves yet, and they're trying to avoid it. You're just on this shit that, oh man, fuck them, they're all ruined. Fuck it, 0.0001 might be able to be saved. I disagree with you. We just disagree, sir, and that's the end of it.
Right. So I don't know what Kevin Samuels show you watching, but the ones I'm watching, they fucked up.
Yes, many of them are.
I don't see many of these unicorns. Wait, I don't see many of these unicorns calling into Kevin's show. I don't know where you're getting that from.
They're not unicorns. They're women who say, you know what? I don't want to be 300 pounds. You know what? I don't want 2 or 3 children out of wedlock with so many men. You know what? I don't want HIV or herpes or chlamydia. That's who they are.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So by the time you have to fucking call into a YouTube show, like you're already done. If you need YouTube creators to tell you that you don't want to be 300 pounds, you got another problem. Okay.
If you can boil down everything I've said, or everything a Kevin Samuels says, or everything Jason Black might say to that, that's Utah City. You can go to your platform and preach whatever you want to preach about how it's all over. You can't save any of these women. Don't try to save them. None of them are worth trying to make an appeal to. That's your perspective. Go to your platform and go for it. Have a ball with it. That's not my perspective. I've raised a daughter, okay? I have a vested interest in seeing those black women that actually want better for themselves having a path to get to it. And I understand that men are the ones who are given that charge by the Creator, no matter what your religious leanings may be. Men are put in charge over directing the footsteps of women. We just are. There are some, now the culture has told women, you absolutely don't do that. You're just as competent, you're just as intelligent as these men. Don't listen to them under any circumstances. But there are a growing number of women, a minority, granted, but a growing number of women who are saying, you know what? I don't see any positive results of listening to all the people that my mother, her mother, my aunts have listened to. Maybe I need to listen to somebody different. And I'm going to give those women, those men, the information I think they need. And if that makes me a simp, if that makes me a clown, if that makes me whatever you want me to be, I don't give a fuck. Do you think I've been a conservative since 2000, 2001? I've had debates with hundreds of black people at family gatherings, at social gatherings. I don't care what people think about what I say. I really don't. You can either like me or you can hate me. I'm going to voice my opinion just like you do, Ty City, on your platform.
I don't have a problem with you voicing your opinion, but when I say, hey, you trying to save women from themselves, that's a fool's errand. I mean, it's going to be some pushback.
I agree to a certain extent. I agree. You have not addressed my point that there are some women who don't want any parts of what they see Black women have become, and they're looking for direction.
Right,
women are not supposed to be governing their own lives. They're not. Proper men.
I agree. I agree with you, but
supposed to be governing their lives for them.
So, what I'm trying to get to you is the women who are quote unquote this self-realized woman, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna be just fine.
No, not necessarily. There are
They could potentially get influenced by the other the other media apparatus that's out there. They could possibly get influenced by that. So why is it a problem that people are on the other side saying a different thing? I mean, people can change their mind. They can be influenced. I was a hardcore liberal.
I'm not against nobody talking or their opinions or whatever. That's not what I'm about. That's not what I'm about.
Yeah, but it sounds like you're saying he's what he's doing is futile. I mean, people change their mind. People can be. I'm embarrassed
but to act like these women, to act like women don't know no better though.
No. I get you on that, acting like they don't know no better. But what I'm saying is that there is a percentage of people who could hear something that makes sense and realize, damn, I ain't making no damn sense. And there's some who will hear it and will say, I don't give a fuck. I'm comfortable. I like doing what I'm doing. So at the end of y'all can debate or agree or disagree on what percentage that is. But at the end of the day, is nothing wrong if what he's saying is, if he believes that it's right, he believes he's saying the right thing. By all means, he should be saying it, and he's going to influence and affect somebody. I mean, I'm embarrassed to say who I voted for in 2016. I voted for Hillary Clinton. I was that much of a damn Democrat. So people can go through drastic changes in their whole thought process. So to say, oh, they know they're not going to do this, they're not going to do that. Of course, some won't, but some people will change.
Right. So what I'm saying is, with this it's deeper than this. Like I said, you can save them or whatever. They never going to come together to change the actual power measures that are in place. Never.
It's not about.
I'm sorry.
It's not about changing the power at this time. It's about changing the culture. Once we've changed the culture, we can address legislative initiatives that will be more enough.
The culture will not change if it's more advantageous towards women. They're not going to do it, bro.
Sorry, sir. I disagree with you. And again, you're talking this massive collective of changing 20 million women. I'm not talking about that.
Okay, well, I mean, if you want to hunt for unicorns, go ahead.
Why did women vote for Trump?
That's fine.
Why did white women vote for Trump, though, Ty City? I mean, some women will vote against what seemingly is the overall best interest of women, because some women view the overall best interest of women is to be under the leadership.
Ty City says
right. So it doesn't. Okay, so it doesn't matter, right? Because the Republicans and the conservatives, they haven't done anything about feminism either.
Done anything about feminism.
And the Republicans will bow down to women as well.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm sure the establishment will. Your rank and file don't.
They fold a lot of the time. I ain't gonna lie to you on that.
They're gonna fold up. So it's like, why do white women vote for Trump? Why do they? It don't matter. Democratic women and Republican women will meet in the middle on some shit.
See, okay, this is why
that's part of the uphill battle. I mean, yeah,
this is why it's largely a time of separation. That's just what it is.
Hold on, shout out to Crimson Cure. I had her comment up there for a while. Shout out to Crimson Cure. The Sneak 2008, LilBigNate, he says, do you support legalized prostitution, and what are your thoughts on women close to you participating? Yeah, okay. You can briefly answer that one. I'm just trying to.
I'm not a fan of prostitution. Ultimately, what a man does with his money and a woman does as her career is their business. It's just not personally something I engage in. But legalized prostitution, yeah, I mean, ultimately,
It's the marketplace. If the marketplace says yes, if the people in that particular district or that state vote for it, then sure, let them do it.
All right, we're gonna pass it to Fatal Dose. I know.
Let me say this real quick.
All right.
My thing is, we cannot get around women like act like they just oblivious. They have no idea what to do or what advantages that they have out here. We can't do that.
No, what women don't understand is
and
what
that they need. And that they need this special guidance or whatever. They know. They know they don't want to be 300 pounds. They know they don't want to do all the rest of the shit. They know they don't want to have kids out of wedlock. They know.
They know they don't. Why are they doing it?
No, because they don't care.
You're right. Some of them don't care, but some of them think they okay and they just fine, and they
right, because there's a culture that supports that.
Yeah, and then there's another crop of women coming up that don't want any parts of this, and I am going to speak on some occasions to them.
There's a lot of media apparatus telling them that they look good and they sexy at 300 pounds and all of that other stuff.
No one's trying to save
them, and that's why I say they're not suffering. How a lot of these guys say, and they suffering because they totally complacent and they are happy, they are content.
If there are voices, Ty City, at the end of the day, if there are voices that are enabling the thoughts in their head, there need to be just as loud of voices saying something that makes some damn sense. So that at the end of the day, either okay, the loudest voice, the voice of what LilBigNate talking about, I think should be louder than the bullshit that they already getting fed to them that enables them. That's where I'm at on that. I know you feel like they know it don't matter. It's a fool's errand. I get it.
They don't need your help.
I get it.
With common sense.
I get it.
Then let me waste my time.
I get it. But cultures change all the time, Ty City. Cultures change all the time. So that's where I disagree with you at. We know cultural change can happen in this country. So that's where I disagree. But Fatal Dose, we're gonna pass the Fatal Dose and we're gonna work our way to Phantasm Game Changer. But go ahead, Fatal Dose.
Yeah, I think this is the argument of hope and no hope. And I think what Ty City's at, he's pretty much saying there's no hope. Let's just drop it. And then you have Big Nate that's concerned about the few that's out there. But either way, we can't just ignore what's out there because we have to live in this this world, right? So, I do my part to talk about what's going on and try to make changes because I don't want to be in a world where everyone is behaving this way. So if we just let it go and let it build up to the natural conclusion of letting women misbehave, it's only going to get worse from where it is. And I can't even imagine how bad it could get, because it's already bad. So we have to be able to speak on it. I do understand that at one point some brothers want to throw their hands up, but that doesn't mean we just need to stop speaking on it, and we got to let them know our displeasure.
I'm not mad at dudes who speak on it. I don't have nothing against speaking on it. My thing is that I just feel like some guys don't have a total understanding of what's going on. That all they have to do is just talk to them and they're going to learn. Like that's not how it's going to work.
That's the same argument you're using against yourself, though.
Talking
that's
to
the same.
Exactly how they learn.
Go ahead.
Well, that's the same argument you're using, though, bro. Again, you don't know what a person knows until you can't just automatically assume. And again, the numbers and things are showing you that these women that are coming up, these Generation Z people, they're not doing the same thing that their mothers and grandmothers and aunties did. The bitches that are out here having all the kids are in their 30s, bro. Teen pregnancy's been down like constantly for a substantial amount of time.
Abortion is down too. Abortion.
So to say that you should just shut you're doing what we was talking to old man about. You're telling him just be quiet and don't say anything because there's no point in it. No, that's irresponsible. Because at the end of the day, if all they hear is things that are going to be in line with what all the women before them are doing, and they already don't have any contact to men, why would you tell the man that's telling them something that's good for them for the long term to just shut the hell up and just let them
I'm
be
not
what they're
telling
gonna
him to
be.
shut up. I'm saying that
So
they
what are you
know.
telling them then?
They know.
Hold up, I don't think you heard me, sir. I don't think you heard me. How do you know that they know?
Great point.
Okay, so wait. So you think they don't know to not get pregnant by just goofy motherfuckers?
What have
Brother,
they
what did
seen
I
from
just
the
tell?
young?
Hold up, well, let me help you out. I just
Wait,
walked you down.
wait.
Hold up, you asked the question, let me answer it. I just walked you down
Yeah.
there. I just walked you down there. Look at the stats and the data. Teens, young women are not having children like middle-aged women, bro. So they do know, and they are actually enacting it more so than the bitches that should be more responsible. So I'm
Right,
gonna
I
ask you
understand that,
again.
and like I said before, those women are going to be fine.
Okay, so hold on. So now you're further proving Big Nate's point, because that means if some women
No,
get
because
it,
they knew, because they know
well, okay then.
they're
So
going
how
to
do you?
be fine.
Okay, so how do you increase the amount of women that know?
The thing is,
He got you.
like
Yeah, I know I do.
no. We gotta act like they just totally oblivious. They don't know what the fuck they doing, and that it's no reason. A
Ty
lot of these
City,
women act like a lot of these women act like they didn't know, but they fucking knew.
Ty City.
Okay,
Most
we're not control. We're not concerned with them though. Listen, the ones that are to the wilderness, let them wander in the wilderness and die. We're not
exactly.
worried about them. We're not trying to save the unsavable. What you're trying to do though, that's the way you change culture. You start culture with the people that really do not know
Young.
and not have yet been poisoned, and you get them to become your allies and your fellow disciples to spread out the same word or the
Thank
same
you.
philosophy. So
Thank you.
again, for you to
Right.
tell him to shut the hell up, and what? Why are you
I
talking about?
didn't say shut the hell up.
Well, excuse me. My bad. You didn't say you implied that. But what's the use or what's the name, man? You're not gonna. There's not gonna be a net positive in that. I understand that like you said, nothing is perfect, nothing is foolproof. But the whole point of the manosphere is supposed to be say black men having voices. Okay, am I wrong?
Yeah,
Am I
yeah.
right?
Right. So it all boils down to this, right? The ones who don't know are more than likely going to be too far fucking gone.
No. You see, you're still wrong in
Sorry.
that assumption. If they don't know, and they're young, they're not too far gone yet because they haven't gone
Well,
anywhere. You have to teach them.
e- even what I heard earlier when he said they usually don't catch on until they already fucked up.
I didn't say that. Look, what I don't think all of these naysayers in the chat and Ty City, what you don't understand is I've done something that 98% of the men in the space haven't done. I've raised a daughter by myself. I'm going to have a very unique perspective when it comes to what you tell and teach a female. No help from her mother for 17 years. I raised that little girl. Okay. So I know what I'm talking about because I see the type of woman she's become. There's no guarantee she's going to be perfect. She could go out and completely derail her fucking life and become just another slob ass black woman. But the probability of that happening is diminished greatly because of the things that I've taught her. She knows what to avoid, what to watch out for. You keep talking
Right.
about these women who supposedly know. Most of these young girls don't know because they don't grow up with a father in their life. But they could still see, you know what? Mom is a mess. You know what? There's a video I'm going to do a whole presentation on. I'm surprised nobody's ever done this video. It's a video of a black mother arguing with her daughter. The daughter's holding the phone. The daughter's about 20. The mother's in her 40s. And they have this horrible argument. And then the black girl goes off and she looks in the phone and she screams at the top of her lungs. You know, I'm not going to tell you what she says. I'll show it to you. It'll be the first couple of live streams I do. I promise you that. But what she says about what is wrong with young black women and who is responsible, it's gonna blow your mind when you see it. These girls, some of these young girls, they don't want to be what they see black women have become. And if you understood the responsibility of a man
One of his responsibilities is to give guidance to the women that want to be under his leadership. Okay? I'm only talking about the ones that want it. I'm not talking about convincing, cajoling, forcing anybody to do anything. I'm talking about the women that are seeking out direction from proper black men. I'm not going to write those women off. And any of you niggas who want to, that's your fucking business. Go and write them off. Go sit in your fucking corner and bitch.
Nobody said write the good ones off. Nobody said write the good ones off. Nobody said write the good ones off.
I'm trying to, for those black women that want to listen to black men, proper black men, I'm going to give them some information that's going to help them. Whether anybody likes it or not, I don't give a fuck if you like what I'm doing or not. I'm going to do it.
All right.
And you can do what you want to do on your platform.
Right. So again, this is why the whole abortion thing happens, because when I tell you they don't care, they don't care. I'm not talking about the good ones who won't, more than likely won't end up in that situation. That's why I say they don't give a fuck. And when they get in them fucking situations and they tell you about how they feel miserable or unhappy or all that fucking shit, that's like, that's not your, like,
that's not
I don't care.
That's not my
exactly.
problem. Exactly. We agree.
Okay, that's all I'm saying. So when it comes to this, so when it comes to this feeling bad for women about abortion shit outside of the obvious situations, I can't.
I'm not, well, Ty City, I'm not asking you to feel bad about women for their abortions. What I'm stating is that these women are being destroyed by the activities they're engaging in. Do you want to bring a halt to this? Hold on, let me finish. Do you want to bring a halt to this so we have fewer horrible black women in this country? Or do you want to just continue to let it happen? What do you want to do?
I don't care.
That's your position. You have every right to it. I have every right to mine. I want fewer horrible black women. That's what I want.
This is what I'm saying. Women will have an abortion, and just understand that it's not like, oh my God, they feel so goddamn horrible about doing the shit.
Okay, I disagree. I've seen so many instances where that's exactly what happens. They lie to themselves. They sell themselves a lie. The media sells them a lie that it's no big deal, no problem. They go do it, and then for the rest of their lives, they're dealing with it. I've seen it many times, though.
All right, we're going to move to Game Changer. Number 16 in the building says no one is saying be quiet. Just do not think only talking will fix the issue. Thank you for the super chat.
You're sitting here listening to talking. Gotcha.
Yeah, Mr.
Yeah, I'm not,
I'm
not against the whole talking about it shit.
Some of us are. Some of us hearing things that make them uncomfortable. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So LilBigNate, I like to think what you and people like in channels like yours do is akin to a hospital that deals with, traumatic incidents. So there are going to be some people that say, listen, they're going to die anyway. So many have died, you're a military hospital and so many have died. So why even be here and try to save them? There's always going to be that logic there, but you are doing it for the ones that can be saved.
Absolutely.
You're not going to ignore the ones, with a bullet in their, or excuse me, you may have to ignore the ones with a bullet in their heart or something like that, or ones that are too just messed up, but you are there for the ones to be saved. What you don't want to do is create, and that's what society wishes to do, create a sphere of influence where they're the only voice, where their way of life is the only way of life, because there do exist women who believe, who believe in their true natural feminine nature. They just feel that they live an unnatural life because so far and for so long, the only voice out there was the Sex and the City, Color Purple type voices, the media sphere that influences them to behave this way. If you give them an alternative, even though your voice isn't as loud as the existing sphere of influence, it's going to give the ones who feel like they're different, and they will gravitate towards the ratchet or the sisterhood just to fit in. It will give them a beacon to follow. Now it's because it's a smaller voice, it's not going to, be as effective as the general sphere, but it will be effective, and that's with any movement. That's with any movement. That's with, the civil rights movement. That's with the people who are against abortions. They stand outside the clinic and hold their sign up. Now, you can have somebody scream at them and say, oh, it's useless. They're going to get it anyway. They came here to get it. However, if they feel that they can reach one, then it's worth their efforts. And since it's their effort, and in this case, your effort, really anyone who speak against it is not, it's futile. It's futile. I don't understand the point in, seeing someone make an effort and then discredit it the reason that they are making it because they're making an effort to thwart your effort, which I don't get, but I don't have to get it. It doesn't really have to make sense for us to move on. What I would like to see this conversation move to is, now that we know what we want to do, how do we go about doing it? So LilBigNate, what I want to ask you is, do you feel that the direct approach, the approach that includes things like insulting the women who are doing poorly and highlighting those negatives to the other women, is effective?
All we have to do is tell the truth. That's it. Whether they deem it insulting, whether they deem it hostile, misogynist, I don't care. Just tell the truth. I don't see myself hurling a bunch of insults necessarily, but I can assure you, with this cancel culture and leftist ideology being so prevalent among Black women's minds, they're of course going to take it as an insult. I've seen a number of uploads and streams where Black women say that Kevin Samuels is abusing Black women, abusing them. Telling them the truth is tantamount to abuse. So, of course, they're going to consider it abusive. Of course, they're going to consider it insulting. Let them. I'm going to tell you the truth as I see it. It can make you enraged and angry. You can allow it to help you have some additional insight, possibly. Feel any way you want to feel about it. But I'm going to tell you what I think about the situations that we're dealing with. And yes, largely it is cultural and behavioral.
What I mean by that, and I agree with that, there's two truths. There's the positive of traditional femininity, and there's the negatives of the gynocracy that currently exists. Which do you think is more effective, highlighting the positives of traditionalism or highlighting the negatives of the existing gynocracy?
Oh, the negatives. The negatives are going to speak volumes louder than the positives will right now. They have to see the consequences of obesity, of promiscuity, consequences of just willy-nilly getting pregnant by some nigga you met 3 hours ago in the Walmart parking lot.
Okay, so hey Nate, and
Yes,
Game Changer. Do y'all think that I'm gonna say Black men are just overlooking good women? Do you think that the good women are just being overlooked and nobody cares about them?
No, I don't think there's that. This is the problem. Genuinely feminine.
Because it almost seems as though that the women who do know are just being overlooked and they need more help. And I don't think that's the case. I think most of these good women are already married and together with kids, and they already happy and they living in their femininity already.
Every day a girl turns 18. Every day tens of thousands of girls turn 18. They turn.
Do you think that they're going to be overlooked by men? You think they get overlooked, the good ones?
No. I think, let me answer real quick. What happens is these girls fall victim to popular culture. They fall victim to the idea that the guy I need to be dating is the guy that's already dating 5 other women, the guy that's the cocksmith, the guy that has the street cred, his swag is on fleek or whatever the fuck. Though they
need help with that. They need help with that.
Once again, having a different voice than the existing one that you described is speaking volumes to women. So, continue to do what you do. And yeah, I appreciate it. What I want to do now, if it's okay with Bernard, is yield the mic to Crimson Cure. I want to see her point of view on this.
Oh yeah,
Well, hold up. I didn't actually get my turn. I just got I chimed in on Little Big Nate's point. I just want to make mine look real quick, and then, as a matter of fact, let Crimson Cure go, and I'll go after her. My bad.
All right,
first.
Evie now with the super chat. Appreciate that. Just separate the wheat from the chaff. All right, Crimson Cure, welcome to the show. You got the floor. You got the mic. Are you there? Crimson Cure. All right, that's game changer. All right, you got to go ahead. Fantastic. We're gonna figure out what's going on with
yeah, she dropping in and out. So this is what I want to say to the topic. What's wrong with the Manosphere? I don't think anything's wrong with it. Little Big Nate was extremely accurate in his assessment of this is still brand new, people. Okay, this is in its infancy, and again with the leaps and bounds that's been made, by by one individual from this sector that have pretty much taken the essence of what we talk about here and it gone mainstream, just lets us know that the message is being heard, and we are the architects and the proprietors of it. So I mean, why would we stop? You know what I'm saying? I think
wait. The truth is getting out, and guess where the pushback is coming from?
It's coming from everyone.
Not from men.
Well, no, yes, it is. No. That's where you're wrong.
Men and women. Men and women.
Yeah, it's coming from men. Yeah, it's coming from men. It's coming from men even more so than the women, sadly. And again, this is why I say it, and I keep telling y'all talk about women, as it's the women's are more problems than the dudes, because at least the women have the excuse of being women. But the problem is when a man acts like a woman, but no one addresses it, and people just lets it go. It is what it is, and men don't address men. But the point, I'm trying to make is this, man. Hard work is just that. And when you have an impossible goal as a man, that's what you set out to do. There's going to be times where you have to do things you don't want to do. You feel like you shouldn't have to do it. Or it's even going to be time when you have to just waste your time to go through the point to show people that you're willing to go there if necessary. All right. That's the complexity of fucking manhood. And the black manosphere is that, especially for the black man. So if and when a brother had something to say concerning the dynamic, because this is what I keep trying to tell y'all, man. Listen, at the end of the day, y'all love these hoes. All right? Are you gonna stop? You gonna be a fucking MGTOW monk? Nope. Are you not gonna get no more pussy for the rest of your life? Nope. So what does that mean? So it means at some point in time, you want a bitch that you can fucking deal with and tolerate, even if you paying her $40. All right? A bitch that's just gonna be
on your own terms at all times. That's how I play it.
Okay, but still your own. So hold on. So does your own term consist of any type of cooperation?
I mean that of course.
All right. Oh, of course. So what does that mean then?
It's cooperation or nothing. There is no.
So hold on. So what does that mean then?
That means it's on my own terms. That's it.
No. So let me help you out since you can't seem to figure it out for yourself. What that means is you need a black woman to give a fuck about what you want as a black man. And the only way she's going to be able to find that out is if you and or other black men tell her as to what that is, since she don't know. She don't know.
I don't operate like that. I don't.
If you don't care,
it don't matter. It's my terms, not our terms.
Brother, you contradicting yourself. You can't say it don't matter if you want cooperation. If you want a woman, not? Because if you want a woman that you can get cooperation from, then it matters.
I mean, cooperation comes from the jump. I ain't fucking with her. Simple as that.
Okay. So what you're saying is, so if every bitch never cooperates, you cool with never having a bitch.
And I want, no matter how small, a group of cooperative, convivial black women who do not buy into this horrible black American female culture. And the only way that's going to happen is if men, like the men that exist in this space, are explaining to them what they are not supposed to be doing, because they're never going to hear that from MSNBC or CNN or Huffington Post or Lipstick Alley or any of these other influencers in their life. They're only going to hear it from us, the very people that are supposed to be guiding their footsteps. Sorry. And all the women who want no parts of listening to us, let them burn, let them perish, let them fail, let them fall off into the fucking ocean. I don't care. But there is, whether you understand it, I see these women. I've dealt with these women. I've instructed some of my daughter's girlfriends and given them advice. And when they would come to the house, they'd sit at my dinner table. I would tell them the things that they need to hear. That 19-year-old friend of my daughter's, she's married because of the things I told her. She grew up with a single mother. But sitting at my dinner table, being upstairs with my daughter playing karaoke, and then coming downstairs for dinner, and the things that I taught her over a year and a half is why she's married today. She's married to a 24-year-old machinist in Columbia, South Carolina, because of what I taught her. Don't tell me this doesn't matter. And she's pregnant with her first child. My daughter is her godmother. Don't tell me this doesn't matter. Because it does.
Okay.
He said, okay.
All right.
All right. LilBigNate, you said you had 3 hours, man. We didn't went into overtime because
I know. I'll give you a little more, man. I'll give you a little. It's up to you, bro.
No. I mean, we can wrap it up. Crimson Cure, come back if you get with whatever was going on.
To hear from her.
Yeah, I was curious to hear what she had to say.
Yeah, I really want to hear from her.
I don't know if she ever been on here. I can't even think if she ever been on a panel up here before. But yeah, we went round and round. I don't know where to take it thus far. If anybody else, I mean, we damn near could start out some closing statements. You know, if y'all want to do that, we can do that and get ready to wrap it up.
Hey, let me wrap this up, bro, because I'm actually on my lunch break. I gotta get back to work.
All right, cool.
That was a cool story, Nate. Lots of women get married. You know what I'm saying? We already know the outcome.
So nothing matters.
City say, cool story, man. Cool story.
Nah, it was compelling as hell, man. Congrats on your channel. You know, do your thing, man.
Look forward to you coming up. Man.
Yeah, I'll be there, bro. I'll be there.
I know you will.
But other than that, man, everybody else, man, salute. And like y'all said, the message is getting out there. You know what I'm saying? I'm not seeing these, not many of these goddamn, this message has saved my life stories. You know what I'm saying? I'm not totally convinced on that shit yet, but we'll see. I'll catch y'all boys later. I'm getting back to work.
Salute. Hopefully we'll see more, Ty City. Hopefully we'll see more, man.
All right, peace, Ty City. Peace. All right.
Hey, I got a special presentation tonight around 8. By 8:30, we going in.
All right. Is it new is it a new Manosphere type of presentation?
Nah. I had to cut back on that shit, man. Motherfuckers getting they got their feelings about that shit, man. So it's something else. We good though. It is Manosphere. It is Manosphere though.
Okay, cool. All right.
I'll catch y'all later.
All right, Ty City. All right, we gonna go start with Game Changer and just work our way around to LilBigNate to close things on out. So go ahead, Game Changer. You got the floor.
I'll go.
Who said that?
No, it's Tyson.
What? Oh, Sir Tice.
Sire Tice. Yeah, I'll go.
Oh, Sire Tice.
Yeah.
Sir Tice. Okay, Sire Tice. Go ahead.
It's all good. It's both ways. Hey, man, hey, thanks again, LilBigNate. Can't wait for the channel. The Manosphere is fine. It was supposed to be dead 2 years ago. It was supposed to be dead last year with Aaron Fountain or whatever his name was. It's fine. You're gonna have differences or whatever. That's it. Everybody have a good afternoon. Peace.
All right, thanks, Sire Tice. Appreciate you. Game Changer, you there? All right, let's go ahead and go with Fantastic.
Hey man, appreciate you as always, man. Little Big Nate finally getting this, I guess, getting out of his fucking Dr. Dre detox thing. He didn't have to have an aneurysm to finally do it. So we waiting, nigga. You are on the countdown clock. It's well overdue.
Next week.
Yeah,
Hide
he
that
got a
playlist.
date. He got a date Tuesday,
Yeah,
next Tuesday.
hide the playlist, my guy. You Fantasia is the first thing we see when we come to your page. You can private that playlist, good fella. You know what I'm
Oh
saying?
my
You're doing
God.
content now. So hey man, we just trying to get you in there, start you off right, brother. But yeah, man, very, very powerful message, man. We heard you in the space, bro, and I know you gonna hit hard and fast, and yeah, your voice definitely needs to be heard, man. Your perspective in these things, man. And to everybody in the chat, bro, I understand, but you know, at some point in time, anecdotal evidence is relevant. You know what I mean? I mean, each one of us, right, have seen something that you would tell another person that it's impossible, it can't be done, and your anecdotal experience just may be enough to, you know, help somebody else do what they never thought they could do. I know the woman thing changed the dynamic up incredibly. I know. Hey, woman is, like I told you, it's like the LED Rubik's Cube, man. But you know, ultimately, man, if the brother is here trying to do something for the overall betterment of black men and black people overall, man, we just go support him and go from there. And like you said, bro, hey, we at a perfect time right now. I hope you know, more brothers start making content and coming with it, man, because we are making a difference, and just stick to it, bro, and keep it going. Appreciate you, Bernard.
No doubt, no doubt.
Thank you for that, Mr. Fantastic. I appreciate that, sir.
And we're going to, oh shit, we got brother Xavier in the building. We're gonna give Game Changer another try, and then we go, Game Changer, are you there? Mic check 1 2 on Game Changer. Going once, going twice. No, he's not there. We're gonna go to brother Xavier to drop his first and last words on us. Go ahead, Xavier. You got the floor, you got the mic.
Peace, brother Bernard, little Big Nate, my dude.
Yeah, I just want Xavier. Yes, sir.
I just wanted to get up here, man, and congratulate brother Nate, man. This is my dude right here, man, and you know, all speed to you, man, on your new channel, man. You know, my ass will be down there. One thing about brother Big Nate, man, this dude can come up here, man, and talk about politics. He can talk about social issues. He could talk about sports. Brother Big Nate can make country western music sound compelling. So I just wanted to get up here, man, and shout him out, man, and say congratulations on the channel. That's all, man. I appreciate you bringing me up, brother Bernard, and salute brother Big Nate.
Wow, thank you, Xavier, man. That nigga's a national. Well, he's a Manosphere treasure. His channel and him, man. Salute.
And one more thing before I go. I get a lot of hit ups, you know, and I get a lot of requests, you know, for voiceovers and stuff like that. And I've done a lot of voiceover work for brothers in the space. Y'all need to be hitting up my man Big Nate for some of those voiceovers. I damn sure did. The peace. I'm out, folks.
Salute, bro.
Peace, brothers.
Yeah, and Pete, where was that? Where Pete said there was nothing wrong with what GA Boy wrote. I'm unhiding that comment. I didn't hide him. I deleted his comment. He says y'all creating more angry boys than helping lives. There are channels in here that do that do create a lot of young, angry boys that really need some guidance and direction, but they're just throwing more gasoline on the fire. I don't believe I do that here on my channel. So I'm going to start timing out GA Boy when he say, y'all doing stuff like that, if that's not in my message and what I talk about and what I do. So I'm not going to let him pin those charges on my channel. Because if you're saying it in my chat room and saying y'all doing that, you're charging me up by doing that. So that's why I timed out GA Boy. You need to quit doing that shit. You know we don't operate like that over here. But Fatal Dose, did you get your last words in? Or no?
Yeah, I'm
you
here.
did.
Yeah,
okay, I'm having a go ahead.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, man, and congrats, Big Nate. I know it ain't for everybody, but you know, because even I have my limits, so I understand where Ty City's coming from. So, but yo, hopefully I'll catch you on your channel, man.
I look forward to it, Fatal Dose, man. I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
All right, no doubt. One last try with Game Changer. We just gonna wrap up with LilBigNate's final words. Game Changer, mic check 1 2. He's not there. All right, LilBigNate, go ahead, take us home, get us out of here.
I hope the sisterhood didn't get him. Damn.
Yeah, he got got.
You know, the subject of the conversation was supposed to be what's wrong with the Manosphere. One of the things I didn't touch on, didn't have a chance to, we got abortion became the main issue we were discussing for a while. But I've seen very interesting, pithy comments from men in the chat over a host of different platforms. And I've often said to those brothers, like, man, I'd highlight their name and I say, look, Doug, why don't you go up and say that, man? That was brilliant. And do you know what more than a few black men have told me? They've said, nah, man, I'm not going up there. It's too much drama. It's too much bullshit. The same sentiment from about 4 black men. And these guys are pretty prevalent in several people's chats. This space won't grow without people feeling comfortable to become content creators. Now, of course, the chat is a huge part of the show. I mean, I'm sitting here laughing at some of the shit that's being said by these guys. It's genuinely funny, even if it's taking barbs at me, I'm fine with it, as long as it's not too disrespectful. But this space won't grow without new talent. And you want guys to be comfortable to come up and voice their opinion without being destroyed, Let's make this a welcome space for new voices, perspectives we may not necessarily agree with, as long as they adhere to the, underlying red pill ideology for the most part. With growth, you're not going to be able to subscribe to rigid ideology. We're going to have to make room for, other people's ways of growing their platform, namely Kevin Samuels and others, if we're going to have them associated with this space. This space needs to grow. Growth should be paramount to us. And that growth will come with new talent, with welcoming people into the Manosphere, and with not automatically trying to dismiss people whose perspective may not be exactly the same as ours, So, but no, I look forward to it, man. Finally, after all these months, it'll be here next Tuesday. I'll be on the show with Bernard next Tuesday to launch it, and Tuesday night will be the initial broadcast. So I'm looking forward to it.
Right on. Looking forward to that too. Bro Truth in the building says, Big Nate, the countdown has started. No reneging. Nah, he ain't reneging. He ain't.
I know, Brother Truth, what's up, man? How you doing, bro?
Ain't no reneging going on. But with that said, man, everybody who participated today, who hit the Super Chat Cash app, did anything in any way, shape, or form to contribute to the show today, even if all you did is hate watched, I appreciate you coming on through. On the Cash app end, D-Rock Den. Let me not read nobody's government name. Davis Tech. You know who you are. We got Scamang, what does that hell is that? Scamagnus, whatever that is. He says, LilBigNate got too much sauce. Shout out to you. You know who you are. Appreciate the Cash app. I couldn't read your name. And also Cough Dogs. Thank you for the super chat. Appreciate that. Cash app names be funny. Keith Mighty, thank you for the Cash app. Appreciate that. Appreciate everybody who came through and participated in any way, shape, or form. No, much love, much respect. Leo Anthony says, great show, fellas. Absolutely, man. Try to deliver on another great one. We certainly did that. Certainly did that. So, man, I got to get up out of here. I'm looking forward to the formal official launch of LilBigNate's channel, and we will see. I gotta quit reading the comments on my way out the door. But hey, thank you everybody. We up out of here, y'all. Peace.
Okay.
Peace and salute.